doing this as a lesson for you, young boy. This is just a lesson for you. Football's a humbler. Football is a humbler. Football is a humbler. Football's a humbler. Talk less, more action. This facial expression for you, my friend.
Don't go anywhere. Did he forget he was attacking and not defending? What the fuck are you doing?
Virgil van Disney I was listening to, like, I don't know what kind of rubbish.
Here she comes! It is swinging for Van Dijk. What a save!
This facial expression for you, my friend. Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool Football Club 0.
You're my boy, Blue!
That's it, girls. No more Disney TV for a while.
Fast pace. A fast pace. Oh, you're back.
Fast pace, GRIZZ. No, it's been a while, my guy, for you. It's been a while, I can't lie. But yeah. Welcome back, people. It's the Big Six. As you can see, Hugh couldn't make it tonight. Hugh is over in Dortmund. The Champions League. DAPS is in the building. DAPS, what are you saying?
Yeah, so were you calling Hughie young boy?
Bro, you said it.
Young boy, you know. It's cool. You know what? Hughie, Lewis, Steve, have a good time. They brought in the old man to do a GRIZZ today, then clearly, obviously. So, you know what? It's fine.
Oh, gosh.
Great humbler, right? Great humbler.
I'm just... Because I did say to GRIZZ, like, are you sure you want to rant? Like, you know what I mean? And then he started Van Disney. And then that bit at the end, Van Disney, that was just hilarious, yo. I'm just loving it, man. GRIZZ, you all right?
GRIZZ, can I just say, you look a bit humbled, you know? You look humbled.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Do you know what, yeah? It's I didn't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? I just gave you your prediction, nice little win, just whatever, innit? I just said you man obviously back because I heard the whole speech and you got me gassed. I was like, yeah. Salah and everybody's gonna come back and they're not back. It seems like you man are still here playing some games. I don't know what's going on. It's mad. It's nuts. I didn't see that one coming. I can't lie. I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming. That one still.
Football is a humbler. That should go on the quotes of the Big Six. Football is a humbler. We need to
a great humbler. A great humbler.
Merch.
That's it. It's true, you know.
Yeah.
One of our teams up, we just get the jumper out and just to start the stream with the merch. All right, cool. Listen, GRIZZ, obviously we're going to start with you today. Tottenham had a poor result as well. Arsenal drew, Chelsea United drew as well. Man City won. So they're the only team in the Big Six to win this weekend. But before we do, there's 3.8k in the building. Make sure you guys hit the like button if you haven't already and subscribe to the rest of the man. DAPS' channel is below. He's not a regular here, so make sure you guys go and subscribe to him because a lot of you are probably not. And as always, SAEED, GRIZZ, TOBS, MATISSE, THUGGERY, the official channel, this channel, all of that. Notification bell on. Hit the like button and we'll move. GRIZZ, you got a speech planned for us this week as well?
Nah, man. No speech things, man. We just humble, ain't it? Football's a humble. I'm humbled. I'm the humble man today. No community man, no family man. But one thing I will say in response to Matisse is I never said we're back. I did say that. What I said was I'm just trying to put respect on some players' names that were disrespected. But I never said we're back. And Saturday proved we're in a sticky situation right now. Sticky situation. So let's get the excuses, the violins, the mitigating circumstances out of the way because nobody wants to hear that. But I'm gonna make you hear it because you're tuned in. How many is there now? How many tuned in? Yeah. You're all gonna hear it unless Turkish mutes me. So the mitigating circumstances are the injuries. So you put them out the way. Oh look, Kevin Campbell's back this week, innit? Brother, I'm going missing for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Kevin Campbell. Yeah.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Hey, brother, you know he's been missing, innit?
I've not seen him.
Last week the old day Kevin Campbell went missing, and look, today he's back calling me son.
You must be another friend in the building.
Yeah, of course. Culture scammer. I don't even know who he's supporting this week. Who did he support this week? Wait, who are you supporting this week? First, tell me that in it. Send a super chat in it, you tight fool. Send a super chat. Tell us who you're supporting first, and then I'll speak to you. Man, 3 comments in the chat, man. Shut up. But yeah, look. Well, are you gonna ask me something? Do you want me to give you a summary of the game? Because the summary is game what? Summary is the game is like that's one of the most embarrassing results and performances in the club tenure. People were telling me about the 7-2 Villa, but I consider that Villa team quite tasty at that time. Do you remember they had Watkins and all these men? Like you got players there in that team.
Compared to Forest, it was tasty, yeah.
Compared to Forest, this Forest team, I'm sorry that I could only name you. And this is where football's a humbler. Okay, Serge Aurier, I know. I knew that Gibbs White player. I knew, what's his name, the left back, Nico Williams. And Coyote, the ex-Palace one. And of course, Jay Lings.
You must have known
Jay Lings.
But
about 4 players. Yeah, exactly. Owinini.
No, Awonihi. Not Uwinini.
Okay, well, you know what I mean?
He's Nigerian,
I struggle with accent. I've struggled with accents, innit? Like, why are you like
accents? It's an easy name to say.
Okay, say
AWONIYI.
Look how many vowels in there, and he's telling us easy to say.
It is easy to say.
Like, put some consonants in there. Now
you can say to Simicast, but you can't say Awonihi.
Go on, say okay. Spell it again, and I will repeat it after you.
AWONIYI.
SAEED and Matisse, say that. How do you say that name?
This is great deflection, you know.
If you think I'm getting involved in this little deflection,
no, I'm asking.
Yeah, no way.
I'm only interested in the serious chit chat and the
you want serious chit chat?
I'm here. I just want to hear what happened because I'm shocked. Like I said,
you didn't watch Match of the Day twice,
bro. I predicted a win for you, man, and now
I know all you man watched Match of the Day twice.
I'm threatened on the predictions league. I'm not really impressed. Bro.
Did it really happen? We all watched Match of the Day. Got every report done. Did that really happen? It did really happen. We turned up without a lot of the boys. Thiago gets ear infection on the morning. He throws in Curtis Jones instead of Henderson. He's protecting Henderson. He chose the wrong game. You don't go to a team that's fighting for their lives. Doesn't matter if I'm putting disrespect on them. I can. I'm just a fan support. I ain't choosing the team. I ain't choosing the tactics. But if the coach is picking 3 under-21s to play against a team like that, there's a slight disrespect there. And he paid for it. Jurgen Klopp paid for it. His formation, his tactics, his selections, paid for it. Whether it was arrogance or whether it was protection, I don't know for a fact, but you need to have some more fight in that team to go away. As I said, a team that's fighting for their lives. Before us, they've only conceded 1 goal in 180 minutes for football, so they had slightly stiffened up, but they weren't good. Like normally when teams beat us, I give them credit. Like they done what they had to do, but we were that nasty, we were that stinky, that they weren't even had to play well to beat us, and that's the worst part of it. Because normally you can say, "Yo, they rallied their team, they harried us, they pressed us." They like Fulham beat us up. We were lucky to get a draw against Fulham. Who else? Man United, yeah. But this team didn't even have to do none of that. We were so nasty in possession. We were so nasty, and what's the word? Just
crap.
Idle. Like there's a word I'm looking for. It's slipped my mind now.
Lazy.
Like not lazy, like nothing. We were dead, like brain dead. We were giving the ball away. Every time we gave the ball away, they were so shit they couldn't even counter us. That's how shit they were. But we didn't learn our lesson. We didn't learn our lesson because that's how nasty we were. Every ball was going to them. No shape in our play. Mohamed Salah isolated in a thing. I know one of you mans are going to hit me with the 4 touches, but that's what happens when strikers play through the middle. All of our strikers have had where our strikers barely touch the ball. The difference between
I've had that, but goals have still been scored.
No, that's what I was going to say. The difference being your teams have scored. I was just going to say that. The difference being you have supply lines. He had nothing. He had Curtis Jones, Elliott, and Carvalho behind him. It wasn't a good look selection wise. It wasn't a good look tactically. It wasn't a good look full stop. We lost to the bottom team. I still think they're going to get relegated. I know they've had a bit of a resurgence. I still think they're going to get relegated, but they raised it. They hate us anyway. I mean, I don't know if people know about the history about Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. They hate us a fan base. So they were up for it and we weren't. And that's an indictment. We went up for it. We weren't good enough. We went up for it. and we had no application in what we're trying to do here. We had no game plan. You could have played until, I mean, I know we got chances, but I don't even think we got those chances through good play. It was just through set pieces and pressure. You know, one of them ones. There wasn't no constructed chances. And that is worrying, but I'm not going to go crazy on that because we've got none of our Jota, Diaz, Nunes, and Thiago, and Trent. 5 of our creative players not playing. So I'm not going to go crazy on that.
Now, Grizz. Third time you've mentioned the injuries, you know. Third time already.
Okay, so you're here to count, no problem. Okay, so keep counting. I'm going to keep mentioning them. So 5 of our creative players weren't playing, but that's long term. If that happens, that's a long term issue. Right now, for yesterday, it wasn't good enough. The team that we had was good enough, or should have been good enough to beat Forest, and they didn't. And it's embarrassing. And football's a humbler. Last week, or was it the week before, when we beat Man City, my chest was out because of the disrespect on the Liverpool players, not because we're back. This week, it's a humbler because A, we're not back, and B, you should never count your chickens like some of our players fought Forest.
Have I not heard Curtis Jones' name wrapped in with some of the best young players coming through in this country?
I don't know. Have you?
From you? No? Are you sure?
100%.
Don't say never, Grizz.
Are you sure? Because I swear.
So when you say, okay, so which level are you talking? Foden? Are you talking Foden, or who else is young players level?
Harvey Elliott is a very good player. You know, Curtis Jones. I've definitely heard about Curtis Jones. I didn't.
I'm asking you, what levels have you heard from me then? Because you must have heard from me.
I've heard him wrapped around names at least where you expect him to come into a game like this. I'm not saying it's ideal, but at least
Curtis Jones
can't handle this level. Should he be out on loan? Because I'm pretty sure you said you didn't want to loan him out. You want to keep him.
Yeah. When I still think he can.
So if my thing is that he's not Harvey Elliott is actually 19. He's a bit older. He's what, 21?
He's 21.
If Curtis Jones is going to be here at Liverpool, he's going to be in the squad and he's going to get called upon. He's still old enough to be able to put in some sort of performance or any. You know, it shouldn't be a disaster, should it? Where you're saying that you're missing this player, you're missing that player. I know that they're young players, but
Curtis Jones is
I don't know about the core value.
Curtis Jones is the last one I'm going to blame. I'm going to blame 8 others ahead of him because A, because he's young, and B, that's his first start of the season after being out for like 3-4 months. So to put him in central midfield, which he's never played in his career, in his life, he's never played as a double pivot in his career. So that's purely on Klopp. So I'm not looking.
You think he mismanaged it? I don't know what type of midfield.
He had a stress factor. So he in his first start of the season, man, he didn't even have a full preseason. Last season, he missed about 3 months with a serious eye injury as well. He's had unlucky injuries. But Curtis Jones ain't the problem. The man next to him, cuss him how you want and go for his throat because I'll back you. Because Fabinho is one of the worst players in the Premier League right now. I'm going to say it again. Fabinho right now is one of the worst players in the Premier League. And that hurts me saying that. But he's so fallen off.
He's only 29.
It's only 29.
I couldn't believe that.
That's not his real age, man.
He's one of those I want to see his passport. I want to see his passport.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Man. He used to be compared to Fernandinho, right? And I presumed that they were a similar age. When I realised now that when he was being compared to Fernandinho, he would have been about 27, and in his prime, Fernandinho was probably 36, right? So I just think now to be dropping, I'm shocked at him being 29. I'm not going to lie. It's not any. If he was old and I was seeing him dropping off like this, I'd think fair enough. He's coming of age now. To be dropping off at 29, that's the age he should be in. That role should be shining, like not dropping off.
I think he's been running to the ground. I genuinely think he's been running to the ground. And I don't even think a lot of Liverpool fans are waiting for him to come back. No, you know what? He's having a dip. He's going to get back into form. I am saying it now. I'll be amazed if this guy shows anything remotely to the levels he's shown in 2019 and 20.
And that's why you believe they were going after Tchouaméni in the
That's 100% the reason
that he was dropping off.
The 100% the reason. 100%. And that's why we're going to go for 2 minimum, if not 3 midfielders.
You can't rely on Thiago because he's getting every week it's a new injury. You can't rely on Thiago as well.
We know, but we know this. That's the thing. It's like,
you know what I mean.
That's now 3 midfielders in the summer.
Yeah,
minimum 2.
Minimum 2. To be honest, I know January's not ideal, but we've seen teams improve in January before. I think you guys really should be.
We have to do it in January
to save your season.
Cost more. Cost more.
We have to do it in January because we can't all do it in the summer. So to space it out, I've said it on my show as well. I've said it on my channel. If we don't, and first time I'm going to say it to you lot, so you lot going to remember this. If we don't buy 3 to 5 players in the next 2 windows, 3 to 5 players in the next 2 windows, we could see a fall off like the levels of Arsenal, Man United in recent years.
Sorry, Grizz,
if we don't sign 3 to 5 starters, 3
right,
starters,
yeah, that was the key
players,
point.
Sorry,
that's the key point. Starters,
and I'm saying that openly.
Yeah.
So here's what it is.
What 3 to 5 positions?
No, position-wise, 3 in midfield, bro. That's how nasty it is. No, it's nasty. It's like you're laughing, but it's funny. It's like people.
No,
it's
I
like,
agree.
did you not see the game? No disrespect.
Kanate ruined you guys.
Nottingham Forest, no disrespect. See, this is going to come across disrespectful to Nottingham Forest when they've smashed us. Well, not smashed us, but humbled us and beaten us. So I don't know how to say this without disrespecting Nottingham Forest. But they had no pace in midfield. They just, Gibbs White was okay, right? And how do you say the brother's name? Awonyi.
No deflect. We know what you mean, Grizz.
Grizz. Who do you want, Chris?
Awonihi. That's the last time I'm going to ask again.
They played on your mistakes, though, especially my man. What's his name?
That's what I'm saying.
Gomez.
But even, I'm telling you now, if we played any of your teams, I don't think I could have been. Yeah, I don't think I could have come on today, because it would have been 4-5. Nottingham Forest didn't have the capabilities of attacking our mistakes. That's how butters we were, and we still kept. In the end, they scored with a set piece and a corner, and you know how it happened, yeah. But they could have ripped us to shreds. That was another Napoli there. It was horrendous viewing. And I hope and I pray that performance, because that performance was no defending. You know, you can say refereeing decisions here, chances, we were unlucky, injuries, none of that. I'm not saying none of that. That was, for me, a lot of people on my show were saying, nah, the 7-2 was worse, or the Watford one a couple of seasons ago was worse. For me, in terms of the opposition and everything, and we needing to win to go within 2 points of the top 4 lot, apart from Spurs and City, but actually even 2 points within, of fourth, fighting for fourth. It was horrendous. It was embarrassing, and I apologize to all of you. I'm humbled.
When do you guys wave the white flag on the title race?
Title race, long one, brother.
No, because it still keeps getting dropped in.
No, for me, no.
We done now, yeah.
Even I can confirm that for him. I'll confirm.
No, I'm serious, because Pep, we beat City, so maybe now if we go on a run and 10 games and 12 games,
I study my team, bro. I watch my team. No, I'm done. I'm not a delusionist. I'm a real guy. I'm telling you, 2 weeks ago I said the league title's done. I said the question was, you lot are not even getting top 4. That ain't flagging up yet. I ain't flagging up top 4 at all. I'm not even flagging up. Here we go. Look, check this out. Then I have to have a little bit of chest. Otherwise, I'm a complete pussy, yo. I ain't even waving a flag for second place. Put it that way. I know City are clear and City are going to win it, but I'm not giving up on second. It's a fucking long shot. It's a tall order. But
can I ask you a question, Chris? Do you not think Liverpool's problems still are going to be there in terms of the defense, in terms of you saying injuries and whatnot, Salah misfiring, not producing the form? I still think there's going to be more days of this, what you see against Nottingham Forest. So this idea, even with the top 4, I said that. Remember, I said it on the Big Six. If there's going to be one team that I think could drop out on the top 4, it could be Liverpool. And I think it might be Liverpool. And people might be like, you're stretching, but I just look at Liverpool's problems and I don't see it fading away. From the
outside, from the match of the day clips that you know, wherever, or if you watch Liverpool games, wherever, you're entitled to say that.
I watched the game.
You're entitled to say that. Yeah, you're entitled to say that. If that's the team, if that's the Liverpool team for the rest of the season, we won't even finish top half. But that's not the Liverpool team. I know we've got 7 players that walk back into that team. 6 walk back into that team. 6.
Do you not? Because I think when you look back on the Man City game, then was it a case of just playing for like pride and passion in that game, because it's like from the bits I caught of the Nottingham Forest game, it was like your defense was back to what we've seen this
With
season.
City, against City, it was pretty much our strongest team. We had Jota, we had Nunes, we had Salah, we had Thiago, we had all of them back. Only Trent out of our first 11 wasn't playing. So that's the difference. With this one, 5 of those brothers weren't playing. That's a fact. I mean, obviously it's an excuse right now, whatever. But that's
the
a fact.
lineup, but still, like you
Yes,
said,
we still shouldn't be losing to Forest. It's embarrassing.
No disrespect to Forest, but yeah,
I'm trying not to be disrespectful to Forest, but
you got to be to lose to Nottingham Forest and not to score as well is quite bad. It is.
I mean, I can't explain those chances that we missed off set pieces and whatnot, but we did. There was
Trent fit? Was Trent fit?
I think Trent's being managed right now.
It's just I look at, for me, there's a point with Ollie where like Ollie would win a game and then play the same lineup the week after. And I'm not talking about your full lineup. I know it changed, but when I look at your back four against City worked, right? They sat deep, very, very deep, deeper than you have all season, and it worked. But you're playing, and again, no disrespect to Forest, but this is a Forest team that have bought 22 players. They have not gelled that at all. They're not even, well, we thought they hadn't gelled. Maybe they have now against you lot, but you played the same back four. And for me, you're playing Nottingham Forest, drop Milner and play Trent, because, you know, you should be able to go out and beat Nottingham Forest with ease. Therefore, it's a perfect game to bring Trent back in and maybe picks up a couple of assists or something his first couple of the season. But instead he went with Milner, and it's like, are you now doing, Klopp? Oh, it worked against City, so we play the same back four in every game now? Or
No. He was basically just picking as many, or trying to, because he picked 3-4 youngsters, he tried to mix it with some experience in there as well. But it was the wrong call. I agree with you. 100% I agree with you. That was not a game for Milner at all. Especially their weaknesses when Nico Williams, a wing back, right wing back, playing at left back in a 4, and Serge Aurier. Toby will tell you more about Serge Aurier than me. And they had Cook, I think he's about 37 from Bournemouth, the old boy, who played brilliantly. But they listen. People, there's some Forest fans in the chat saying, but you lot are being disrespectful to Forest. You're there for a reason. You're at the bottom of the table for a reason. Your record is there for a reason. So we're not being disrespectful. I'm just saying we should be beating you. So that's not being disrespectful. You're not very good. That's not disrespectful. That's facts. You beat us. That was an amazing victory for you guys. But if you think you played amazingly to beat us, that's up to you lot. My job is to speak on my team. We were so horrendous that I don't think you had to play well. That's how nasty we were.
You say nasty makes me laugh.
No, proper nasty. Oh, you don't understand. You don't understand, bruv. If I was doing a watch along, Lord.
Okay, we have to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
I missed it. I could understand if Lukaku comes off a football pitch with 4 passes, Aubameyang 4 passes. Any striker who maybe has limitations and is just up there, relies upon service. But Salah is Salah, right? This is Mo Salah. So I have to ask, and I need a serious answer. When you watch this game back, do you not wish that Salah could have not forced himself to be more involved? Can he not drop deep, help set tempo, make a couple passes, build some triangles? Seriously, or is he just wait? Is he now just a player that has to wait up there? And if it's going tits up in the midfield, then then it's over for everybody. Or can he not change his game and become more key player influential? Because this is what some of the best players have to do. Sometimes you have to you have to force it.
So a couple of things. The formation that we played meant he was the only one with pace in the team in the attack. Bobby Firmino was the one who was supposed to be doing what you wanted Salah to do. Even if we swapped Bobby with Salah, it wouldn't have helped us because Bobby doesn't make behind the last man runs. So Salah was our only outlet. We had Carvalho playing left wing, who was cutting in. Harvey Elliott playing right wing, who was cutting in. Both of them cutting in. If Salah also dropped into that hole, it would have just congested an already congested area that we were. He literally didn't get any delivery. The only one chance he got, he scuffed. He could have done better with, where the ball came over the top in a free kick and he had more time than he thought. I'm here if you want to, because he's one of the senior members of the team that was playing. So him, Fabinho, Van Dijk should have been, and Bobby Firmino were the 4 senior players, should have been miles better. But in terms of how you're saying it, tactically should have dropped deep, took on a few players. I think tactically that wouldn't have suited us yesterday. I think what should have happened, and if he didn't do that, then I would have gunned him with you. I think he should have been put out right wing, because I think he would have had more chance of cooking the fullback than being sandwiched amongst defenders and midfielders in the middle.
Do you think that Klopp, like, his choice of formation wasn't the best? Because I felt like,
correct.
I know you had the injuries, but I feel like with the team you have available and the manager, and then when you look at the profile player that he put as the sole protector of your back line in Fabinho, do you not think that he got this formation pick wrong? Because it's like, you've played Curtis Jones, who's not really like a CM. And
bro, he's been playing as a 10 all his life, or a winger or attacker. And he was asked to play alongside, in my opinion, I'll say it again, and Liverpool fans may not like it. It's up to you if you like it or you don't like it. I'm giving my opinion. Washed Fabinho. I don't think Fabinho will find his level. He will find a better level, because that was Vauxhall Conference League level. He'll find a better level, but he will never find that level. And Curtis Jones is being put next to him. I totally agree with you. This is all on Klopp, not on Salah, not on Curtis Jones, not on Carvalho, Elliott, these young men, not even a 37 million. This is on Klopp. 100% on Klopp. He mashed up the whole system, the mindset. Look, even though he may not meant it disrespectfully, it might be a medical decision, because a lot of our players are in the red zone, like, could pick up injury because of our lack of squad depth right now because of the injuries. It might have been a medical decision based on medical advice, but whatever it was, we still should have beat Forest. And the fact that we didn't is because of his formation and tactics.
Yeah, I was just thinking that Matisse question was an interesting question. And I think you talk about the likes of Hazard and Sanchez, would he have got that game by the scruff of the neck and made something happen? I don't know, Salah, has he got that X factor that they had? And that's why we always have this debate between Hazard and Sanchez and Salah.
All three are different players. No,
but Sancho, I get it. But still,
like, did you mention Sancho? Did you sneak Sancho in that conversation?
I said Sanchez, Alexis Sanchez.
Alexis Sanchez, you put in that. Yeah. Alexis Sanchez, you put in that.
Yeah, man, this guy out of nothing.
If Salah was playing on the wings like them brothers do, and if he didn't take the game, and I said it, I'm openly saying it, if he performed like he did yesterday on the wings, or on his normal position, it would have been. I'm not. By the way, I'm not one of these advocates that's been saying I want Salah to play through the middle. I've never ever said that on any stream.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's the first and foremost.
So is Klopp telling him to do that? Stay there. Don't go around there. Don't be inventive. Don't be kind of let's make something happen. I just giving him the instructions.
It depends on the personnel he's playing with. So the fact that he's playing with players like Carvalho, Elliott, and Jones, who haven't been playing that role, it upsets the whole balance of the team. That's how football works, unfortunately, guys.
But I think it's not.
I just said that. That's why I just said.
I think Salah needs to hold some as well. 350 grand a week for players like that. You expect them to come alive and do something. I know where you were going with Sanchez and Hazard is similar type of players, but the back end of last season, I saw it with Kevin De Bruyne. When we needed someone, when we dropped points to Palace, I was like, I need to see a player that's going to step up now, and it needs to be one of the senior players needs to step up and grab this season. And Liverpool are at that point now where they need Salah to step up. And I'll be honest, when Matisse asked a question about if Liverpool are still in the title race, earlier on Matisse's channel, I've been saying all season that Liverpool are still the team that I think could run us the closest in the title this season. When you drop points to Brighton, that one was a bit of a changer for me, because I'm like, Liverpool being 2 goals down and coming back to be 3-2 up's very normal. When you then let them come back in and ended up being 3-0 at home, I was like, oh, okay. But then Rangers, good result. the champions at your place, good result. If you can't build, to not be able to build off of that, the back of that, forget the fact that you lost to Forest, forget the fact that it puts you a bit further away. Bro, you used to be the team that could go on 13 games, 14 games, 15 game runs. You're not that team no more. You're that team that can, on a big day against Manchester City, you can play your heart out and get a 1-0 win. You're not a team that can go on a 10-game run no more. You're proving it throughout this season. Liverpool are fucked. I'm sorry, bro. You lot, it's bad. And you said that you need to go out and buy minimum 3 to 5 players of a high level, right? Do you think your board are going to do that, honestly?
If they don't, the calls for them, whatever that means, or however people are planning to protest against them or whatever, will be at its loudest it's ever been since their tenure at the club. So therefore, I think they're smart. I think they're in a corner where they're going to have to do it reluctantly, because they're tight fuckers. Reluctantly, they will have to do it now because of the fact that Milner's going, Ox is going, Naby Keita's going, and Henderson's be another year older. So that's 4 players I just mentioned.
By the looks of it as well.
Fabinho's gone. Fabinho's legs have gone. Physically, he's there, but his legs is gone. So I've just mentioned 4 definite replacements needed. So they're forced to do it. Do you get what I'm saying? And this is where we've been let down in the last, not just last summer. Everyone's citing, last summer. In the last 3-4 windows, we haven't done it enough, and we're paying for it now. We look like a dead team on our feet.
You say this now, you need X, Y, Z. Do you, in your heart of hearts, do you believe that these solutions are going to be found for Liverpool? Do you believe that?
Well, basically, are we gonna sign players in the next 2 windows?
Are you gonna sign the players that you need to actually get back to where you want to be?
Where I want to be, we don't know until what kind of players we sign. But yes, we will sign.
You're in the know, mate. That's why I'm asking you. You got the goss.
FSG will spend, man. Don't worry. FSG
will spend. We'll get 3 players minimum. And
January,
we're gonna go for no. January's peaking it.
How many?
We're gonna get. I reckon we get 1 in January minimum. Okay. 1. But the summer's we're gonna have to go hard in summer. Go hard, and I'm serious, and I'm saying it with embarrassment, because how much have we? Okay, all of us, but how much have I bantered Man United and Arsenal in the last few seasons? A lot. And so I think we're going to go on that if we don't. So that's why I know these millionaires are not billionaires for a reason. They're billionaires because they're smart fuckers, and they will have to. They know what stage they've got themselves into for the lack of activity.
Grizz, can I ask you? Sorry, can you remember a show we did on your channel where you were saying that your club is run. You were saying, to be fair, that Manchester City is run very well. You're also saying Liverpool. You were saying Liverpool and City are both run very well, but Liverpool are run better. Do you still believe that? And that was very early in the summer. Do you still believe that, honestly, now?
So that conversation I completely remember. That was about in terms of how we've been run. It wasn't a running, how we've been run. And I said yes, because of the job we've done compared to the riches that you've had. I think we've been run better. That was the argument at the time. It's not about running better now. Of course not. It's obvious. It's clear. You guys have gone a step clear. Not only in your net spend, you've spent widely and nicely. Your adaptation to Haaland has been better. Your signings make sense right now. Ours don't. Well, not our signings don't, but I'm saying the lack of, for example, not refreshing the midfield is coming home to fruition now.
You know what I was thinking, yeah? If Liverpool
so basically no. Sorry. One at a time. So yes, sorry. DAPS, no. I think your club is far running better as well.
Honestly, appreciate it.
Yeah, far better.
I just want to say this, right?
We made errors, man. We made errors.
I think there's 2 things. I think obviously I know you're saying Salah obviously has to stay up front because he's the quickest, but
only for yesterday, Matisse. Only for that game, because we had no other strikers. If Jota, Diaz, and Nunes are there, then there's a total different question to be asked of Salah. If he doesn't play along those guys, raise it as well, because if he's in his rightful position. Yesterday, he had to play in a position where I personally don't think he enjoys it. It's not his best position.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if some of these players, not just him, but some of these players are suffering from the fact that you guys have had Klopp for so long, and you've played the same formation and pretty much the same style as well for so long, that there's a very big lack of versatility to adapt to different systems and different formations and different testing times. You know, when we had our, obviously we're not the model to follow exactly, but we've sacked managers left, right, and center, played this formation, that formation, and I'm talking about Hazard. But the adaptation to that and being able to flip between managers and flip between systems and flip between different approaches, counter-attacking, attacking, whether you've got quality around you or you don't, whether you've got bodies around you or you don't. This is something that needs to be involved in the conversation when we talk about, you know, comparing players, because you can't have all the conditions perfect for you all the time. And then as soon as things start to get a bit ropey, you just disappear because not everything is set up exactly how it needs to be. We don't have every single player tailor-made in every position for you to now perform. That's the first thing. But I know he did have a period where he played well, where you guys had a lot of injuries. Also Klopp, because I know you're talking about FSG. If Klopp does not stop the loyalty with some of these players that you're talking about that need to be going, he is going to kind of screw himself over. And I know you've spoken about Klopp being too loyal before. He is also the reason why you're in this mess in terms of the summer window, because he didn't think he needed a midfielder. He didn't think that, he thought that he had the best left back, the best right back, the best centre back, the best DM, the best left winger, the best right winger. He thought that we didn't need a midfielder. We have Elliott, we have Carvalho, we have Jones. Now you have what you said that you had already, so use it. Do you know what I mean? Now you can't complain that you can't compete with City or you don't have the money, or when this is what you wanted. You read out the list of midfielders that you had. You didn't think you needed one. Now your squad is being tested at bare bones. You have to deal with it. So there really isn't any excuse for Liverpool not doing well, really, in these type of games, when this is exactly the kind of midfield that Klopp could have left himself with. He knows he has injuries. This is what he left himself with. He didn't think he needed a midfielder. So I think he has to be very ruthless, man. Pep level ruthless. He does.
I agree with you. Pretty much everything that you said, except, and I agree with everything that you said, except what managers say in press conferences or certain situations, we know is not the gospel. The fact that we went for Tchouaméni, who would have played in the Fabinho role, suggests to me he thought otherwise internally. That's why he pursued Tchouaméni. But the fact where he deserves criticism, or whether the recruitment or whether FSG, whoever it is, we don't know factually, but as a collective, where they definitely need to be criticized is they didn't go for plan B. They thought Tchouaméni, and then we'll wait, because whoever they wanted next on the list wasn't available, and they deserve to get slandered for that. Or
but it's a risk. We've done it before, Grizz. We've done it before, to be fair.
We've done it before. We do it every time.
we wanted Jorginho, didn't we? And when we didn't get him, there was a few other players listed to us, and Pep said, nah, wait this season, and got Rodri. So and based on last season, right, and how Fabinho was last season, I can understand why they took that risk. Look, I want to cook Liverpool, and I'm more than happy to continue, but I do understand, based on Fabinho last season, he might have thought if we wait another season, we can get the right person.
So do you remember me and you on that same show? You asked me this question, or someone in your chat asked this question, and I said I do understand. I understand what the management and Klopp are thinking. Do you remember I said this very clearly? Because I said numbers-wise, it makes sense to them, because we had 8 options, you know, for that 2 or 3 in midfield. But what I said at the time, and now it's coming back to haunt us, I said in reliability, durability-wise, and efficiency-wise, no. And what happens? That couple of weeks later, Naby and Ox are out, done for whole pre-season, and they still haven't kicked ball.
The Naby thing's clear. Yeah, the Naby thing's clear.
So Curtis Jones fell as well. That's 3 completely gone before the season starts. So now they're left with, that's how they panicked in the last week and started. And then even the panic buy was atrocious and embarrassing. Like Arthur Melo was I don't want to speak about it, because I'm going to get angry in it, and then I'm just going to...
Oh, his availability is shit as well, isn't it? So
no. It was the worst. It was like, this is what I'm saying, innit? So I'm ready to praise my team and my recruitment team and say, yeah, we're well run and this and that. That was just one of those...
You tried to cheat the game, basically.
Oh, bro, that was a dog move. That was a dog move. Like, we don't make moves like that. That's when you know something's not right, because we don't make moves like that. Buying Arthur Melo on the last day.
You did it with caveat. What is it? Who is it? Did you sign the centre backs? Remember when you had the injury crisis?
No, but that was an injury crisis. That was different.
Yeah,
we bought Kabak, but even Kabak was
that was fairly... a shocking window.
No, but even Kabak was like some people rated him because he's come from the Bundesliga, Turkish international. I didn't, by the way. I said awful signing. Me and Turkish had a chat about that. Do you remember? I said I don't rate Kabak. He was like, no, he's all right, Chris. I said he's nasty. But
you were top when you did that, to be fair.
Yeah, but this one, the Arthur Melo was
to be honest with Joe Gomez now, it's not looking. He's falling as well, fam. Oh.
He was dead the other day.
This is what I'm saying about they can get up for one game, but that's why they're not going to. That's why I had to concede and say, do you know what? It's not Liverpool no more. It's not going to be Liverpool that finished second. It's not. They can't get on these runs. It's a different Liverpool. It really is. I don't know how. I've been the one that's been cautious, didn't want to doubt it, but they can't go on these runs now.
You said it earlier, yeah. You said Liverpool are fucked, and I agree with that. I think in terms of being a title challenging side now for the next few years, it is over because you can't guarantee that if 3 to 5 players come in and you're happy with those 3 to 5 players, that it's going to work out well. It's hard to predict these things because a couple of years ago, Man United were going for the title. Last year, Chelsea were going for the title. It's hard to predict when players come in what's really going to happen. Because look at both of them now, let's say, in comparison to us, where the last 1 or 2 years, everyone thought we're going to continue on the decline. It was all a joke. It's all banter. But right now, it's looking very different. So yeah, I think you're fucked is probably the best way to move on to Super Chats. If you don't mind.
No, I don't mind at all.
KP says, well, there's a few from KP. Let's unpack this. Liverpool are finished as a top 6 club. Newcastle are here now. GRIZZ and Liverpool need to sit with the West Ham. Don't forget Tottenham are part of the Big Six as well. So they're gone before Liverpool. West Ham's Crystal Palaces of this world. Let me get the other one thing quickly. Before GRIZZ gets rattled, this is exactly what happened at Mainz and Dortmund. It's no coincidence. For Liverpool to sustain a challenge, they have to spend big and replace players and refresh the squad. Klopp's system slowly kills the players. Pep over Klopp. Couple more here. Big up the panel, man.
Do that again,
you all need to cook GRIZZ. He gets away with his deflection tactics too much. Finish him. And I'm sure there was another one here from KP as well. I was gonna
but I don't know. But kids like that. I'm assuming he's a kid. Like finish him. What like? What do they mean? Like make me cry or make me angry or make me sad?
Make the community man cry.
That's it's like what? It's like I'm sat here like a big
combat. You're rocking like this.
Yeah, I'm sat here. I'm sat here humbled. I agree with everything you lot said. We were nasty. We were atrocious. The chest came out last week because we beat one of the best teams in Europe for me, and I only addressed the disrespected points that Huey made the week before. I didn't disrespect Man City or Huey. So I don't understand what people like this want. Like I'm here to
Norwegian meat spin.
No, meat feast.
Meat shield.
Nordic meat. Nordic meat shield is what Steve was. I called him Norwegian meat feast.
But mad that Nottingham Forest made you eat your own words.
Yeah, 100%, humble. I actually put my name as the humble man, but Turkish couldn't get up on the tag. I was like,
Pause.
I'm here, man. I'm lowest. Look, put it this way. On top of that, everyone knows Pakistan played India in the World Cup.
Yeah,
and it's like the fiercest rivalry you can get. So you can imagine how I felt over this weekend. It's like I can handle it because I give as good as I get. We have banter, we have joke. But a lot these kind of weekends can wreck a man's mental health. I'm telling you that for a fact. Let me tell you, I can handle it. I'm not asking for violence for me. Me, I can handle it all day long. Yeah, proper. Give it because you can imagine this is jokes, but you can imagine inbox and DMs in it. You can imagine we've all had them, and I've had some crazy nasty ones, like nasty ones. Yeah, proper nasty, racist, Islamophobic, family, this, that, all this kind of shit. Yeah, this is banter. Whether you can cuss the shit out of my team, they were horrible, they was nasty, but you know what I mean. Sometimes like that. Like people are cussing me, but sometimes like that is a balance. We're not here to like fuck with each other's mental health. Like, what do you want? Cook what? Like, make it make sense. It's a football show. When one of our team loses, yeah, we get bantered, and we have to sit back and we have to take it. And I'm taking it. But keep it real, innit? Like, what does it mean? Finish him, like what? Finish him what? So I don't come on the show again.
I said finish him, so I don't finish him.
Don't worry.
Actually, one last question. Overall, so far, is it on Klopp?
No, let's finish now. We've done Liverpool.
What do you mean, like
It's too much,
overall? Yeah, Klopp's. I think Matisse. I said it last week. Matisse pretty much repeated what I said a few weeks ago, where I said I agree. Klopp hasn't shown me he can rebuild a team at any of his clubs, so it's a massive test for Klopp. He hasn't shown me that he can be ruthless like Fergie or Pep as well. I think Pep can be ruthless. No, Pep definitely can be ruthless. But I don't think Klopp's shown me that ruthless side. I'm hoping he can. I ain't got no evidence and proof, so I can't say it with chest.
Cool. Let me get through the super chats as well. I'm going to focus on the Liverpool ones first. So if you sent in a super chat on another club or another match, I'm going to save that one for when we're talking about that topic. Sat in A&E not well, but still tuned in and at least get some laughs. Hope you're good.
Big up yourself. That's it.
Where are we? Interesting stat that Forest is the only place in the Premier League Liverpool have not won. You'd think Liverpool make. Do you think Liverpool make any transfer ins this January? Says Jason. I think Grizz alluded to maybe one.
Yeah,
maybe one.
Minimum one.
Himanshu says, "Can you make me a mod, please? Matisse and TOBS will vouch. Do you man vouch?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. I'll remember this name. Actually, let me just. I'll keep it saved anyway. Love. Let me save these ones coming in. There's a Tottenham one. Big man thing, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. Liverpool in the mud, and we love to see it, says Goku. Phil Mitchell, I don't know where you're on here, but yeah, something about Arnold in the river. I guess they weren't in the mood against Forest, Grizz.
Spot on. That's slapping my face when I said that, and it's true.
Harvey passed the eyes test 100%, but he's not effective in the final third. Pretty on the popular opinion. Khan Sahab, just 2 words. King Kohli, mashallah, what a game of cricket, says Zephyr.
Yeah. Well done, India. Have to hold that as well. I have to hold it this week from every angle. No problem. Well played, India. Well played, Nottingham Forest.
Big up the panel. Big up Skull Thuggery. Are the big 6 rocking Halloween costumes next week or nah? These not. It's been a rough. End the stream, Dave said it's been a rough week for Frizzy, man. Trust the City ground. First the City ground on Saturday, then the heartbreak at MCG. Hang in there, mate. And Paul Tierney says Awani scored against his former club. Guys, after a frustrating draw or worse, still a loss. What do you like to do to forget about it for a while? Me, probably walk, listen to music. Tom Adele, Another Love, great song. Any of you look? Aside from
What'd you do?
Twitter and writes books. Last night, Toby was on Twitter all night.
So
yeah,
what's your problem?
What do you mean, what's my problem?
It's just a bit hypocritical, isn't it? Really?
And I'm a hypocrite. Call me a hypocrite.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying that I'm a nerd and I'm always writing novels, and then now you go and write a whole fucking thesaurus, mate.
That's fine.
You're like, mate, you took up the whole of my TL. I couldn't even.
That's fine. You've got a gazillion thousand followers. I highly doubt.
I've never done what you did. Never. I've never done that. That was almost sad. I was about to ring you. I was that worried. I was actually gonna ring you.
No, but back to before we get on to Spurs, but back to this actually super chat. What do we all do? Like after a defeat or thing?
I vent on Twitter.
What do we do? You vent. I don't. I go quiet, like in terms of Twitter, social media, maybe bust a little joke, and then just sleep. I vent. What do you do, Turkish? What's your way of venting?
Sorry, before Turkish goes, because the thing is with this year,
because everyone's different, innit?
If you're at the game, you've not watched it from the TV, so there's certain things you've missed, and if you lose. Like in my case, I'm angry, and I do my post-match reaction, and then you do the post-match reaction. Then you actually watch. In some cases, I'll watch the game again the next day, or I'll watch Match of the Day on the same day, and there will be certain things that I'll pick up, and then I'll watch the highlights. I'll look at stats. I'll look at specific decisions that were made that I didn't think of the day, and that's when you'll see the flurry. Check every single loss that Spurs have. You will see me going ham on Twitter because there's certain things that I'm just
here all fucking day, mate. When was Twitter
clocking?
Capital letters and that, mad.
I'm fucking here for years, mate. About go through every Tottenham match,
You're a funny guy, you know. You're a funny guy. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. You're just a funny
Don't
guy.
worry. I'm not
Yeah. That's what I said. Don't worry. I said you're just a funny guy.
Say no more.
Okay, cool. Say less, brother.
Cool, my bro. Chris, disagrees.
Yeah, tell me touches now.
You can say tactically Salah wasn't supposed to do something, but that's what top players do. You think when Messi at Barca would drop into midfield, pick up the ball and beat 4 or 5 man, that was a tactical move. Salah is the man. Prove it. I want to see him take the ball and win the match, because the way people talk about him, that's what I expect.
You've never seen him do that before, innit, Rogine? You've never seen him do that. You've never seen him get the ball and score goals.
Not on 350 grand a week, really.
He have done though, man.
That's
Even
the
that
thing.
last year goal against City, I'd say.
Of course he has. Of course he has,
Yeah,
man.
to be fair, that's a fair point.
He scored loads like that, man. I could send you highlight reels, but it is what it is, innit? He had a stinker against Forest, so did everyone else. So now the super chats are saying, show me something, innit? Thank you.
What's
for the
he
super
bad
chat.
then? He was. Nah, I'm not going to continue. Don't worry. Don't answer that.
Take those caliber of players out of your teams and see how you get on. Plus, top 4 is on as Spurs, United, and Chelsea play some dead, boring football. X4 says,
sure
you all
about
made your predictions earlier, or you all still sticking with your predictions? Liverpool, United, peak season. I think that's probably, if we had a re-prediction of how things are going to end, I think the top 4s and the 6s would probably be looking quite different.
We might do another show in the World Cup, like the final draft of our predictions.
Touching on
That's
it,
an idea.
Yeah, we can see where we're at before we kick off again.
But Arsenal higher if I like it.
You might.
I want to see where you put your team, brother.
Listen, don't worry, man.
Yeah, no, I worry about you now. See, that's what the state I'm in.
Worry about us, mate.
I
You
worry
don't worry
about
about
you
your
now.
team, man. You worry about
I
your
worry
team,
about
man.
you lot now.
Nah, don't worry, man. Don't worry about our team. Yeah.
Makes sense why Grizz was holding Arsenal close to his heart. He knew Liverpool's downfall was coming and Arsenal was rising. Still top of the league, Spurs still shit. Grizz, tell me, thank you for the super chat, please. Deflated squad, crap midfield, defenders not being able to defend, left wing not started because Mane wasn't replaced. The whole team is going downhill now.
Left wing not sorted.
I think
Left
we
wing
should
not
just-
sorted. Yeah, I just left wing not sorted. Diaz and Jota in it. They're both injured, but left wing not sorted.
KP again, Grizz, karma. I said don't get rattled, and what did you do? Get rattled. Chill, my guy. But like I said, Liverpool are finished. Respect.
I think I rattled you because you sent in another $5. Keep sending in $5. I'll rattle you all night, son.
Pause.
That sounds like you're willing to do a lot of mad things for money.
If the money came to me, yeah.
Man said all night long.
Stop this.
The community man. Let me
Community
talk.
man is become the community man.
Sure, I just said it back in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just said it back in my head.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Late show.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Sorry about that.
Where are we? Couple more super chats have come in. I'm going to save them. I'm going to put them to the side. We're going to touch in on them. It's so Thuggery seen it as well. So yeah. To be continued on that one anyway. Yeah. Where are we? At TOBS. That's where we are. It's time to move over. There's already a bunch of super chats for Tottenham already. That I'm going to have to get through later. We're already 53 minutes in, 7.2k here. Hit the like button, people.
Hour on Liverpool, you know. Lord have mercy, man.
Yeah, it's mad.
Big dogs, huh?
1.5k likes.
Hour on Liverpool. I think that's a record. 55 minutes on Liverpool.
No, we've had a few that's touched that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've had a few.
Couple
It's 'cause
of
you haven't had much of these over the
Exactly.
years. So.
Spurs has definitely been like an hour 15.
No. No one's topped an hour.
I think we have for Spurs.
Speaking of Spurs,
Let's chat in it. Let's chat them.
Yes. Am I allowed to speak now?
Where's Son, man? Where's Son? Chat to me about Son.
Yeah, bro. Son has been crap all season. I've not disputed
Yeah.
that. I've not once said Son has been good this season, apart from the Frankfurt game, the Everton game, and then when he came on as a sub against Leicester. The thing is, I can admit that. Unlike you, I can admit that in defeat and in victories. So let's put that one. Let's put that one to the side because I'm going to come back on you in a second when we talk about Man United. Cool. So on Spurs, bruh, What can I say, man? This week, like you lot said, I've sent in multiple paragraphs, essays, and stuff. This week has genuinely like rocked me. Like it's shocked me because some of the stuff I've seen this week, like it's mental. And when I deep some of the goals that we've conceded in the last 3-4 weeks, it is actually hideous. Stretching back to the Arsenal game, look at the second goal we conceded, Lloris mistake. Fast forward to yesterday. 2 howlers from our captain, and I've defended Lloris. I really have. I have, because he's been a loyal servant for Spurs, and he's been a quality goalkeeper for pretty much, like I would say, for me, 95% of his Spurs career. But it's time. It's time for us to find a succession plan. It is, and it pains me to say, it's time for us to find a succession plan. I'm not even too fussed about the head loss, because you know Lloris, right? He has these head loss moments, and he for all I know, he has these moments in the season where he just loses his head and makes bare mistakes in like a concentrated period of time, and then the rest of the season he's calm, like he's really good. Yeah. So if it's just a mistake here and there, I can tolerate. I can sort of accept it. I've accepted it for a couple of years now. But what I can't and I won't accept anymore is this kicking. And you know how much I spoke about how his kicking has improved in 2022, but it's still not good enough. His pings here and there, sometimes they'll meet their players, but for the most part, it's putting us into dangerous situations. And if I, again, not trying to shit on him, but I'm using him as an example, David De Gea, multiple times where his kicking has cost Man United, and that was what Lloris was doing to us yesterday, and that's what he's done for the most part since we've started to play out from the back more. And it's problematic. Literally just booting the ball to Newcastle players all the time. And if you look at our second goal as well, yeah, if you look at the second goal we conceded, it's just unnecessary. It's just dumb. And even the first goal as well, it's just boneheaded decision making, because nobody can watch that first half and tell me that we weren't in control.
Both the goals are his fault, really.
Nobody can watch that. Like, and I'll get onto Conte.
No, you had chances. Someone missed a couple.
Conte mad in that game, and I'll get onto him after this as well. But like, I think we had something like 11. I think we had something like 11 attempts before Newcastle's first goal. We had something like 11 attempts at goal. Son had a really good chance that he should have buried, but he also had like 4 shots in the game. Harry Kane had a shot on goal. Like we were doing some good things. It looked like we were getting closer and closer to scoring, and then bang, a mistake just completely kills the momentum. And the one thing that's worrying about this team over the last couple of weeks is once one player makes a mistake, it just seeps through the back line and confidence is lost. And for us to then go and concede another shit goal in like 3 or 4 minutes later, it's a sucker punch, and it's basically deaded the game for us. And then that's when I'll get onto to Conte in the second half as well. You're 2-0 down, and the fight back from the team was just pathetic, man. The second half, it looked like Newcastle were the team that were 2-0 down. They had doubled the attempts to us in the second half. I think the subs that Conte made as well. Listen, I know we have injuries. I'm not going to use injuries as an excuse. Like, people can talk about the fact that, yeah, Kulusevski's injured, Richarlison's injured, Romero's injured, Højbjerg is injured. Okay, injuries are part and parcel of football. It is what it is. The team on the day still had enough quality to beat Newcastle, and we lost. And what makes the loss even more painful to take is that, like, our fight back, if you want to call it a fight back, was pathetic, bro. Pathetic. The start of the second half, Newcastle were laying siege to our goal, bro. Like, what the fuck is that about? Sorry to keep swearing, but what the hell is that about? And then when you look at the substitutions as well, okay, fair enough. I can understand Perisic coming on, even though he was poor against United, because Sessegnon is fucking garbage, absolute trash. The guy is terrible football player. Yeah.
Oh, are you done with him or something?
When was I on him? He's crap. I've been saying this since last season.
He had a decent start to the season, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He had one good game against Southampton and reverted to type. He's shit. He's rubbish. Don't let anyone tell you.
So who's actually good in your back line then?
I'll tell you. Don't let anyone tell you that Emerson Royale is our worst wing back. He isn't. Emerson is
really?
trash. Emerson is trash. But
the way you going about it on Twitter, I thought he was the worst one.
On my life, Sessegnon is worse. I swear. On my life, Sessegnon is worse.
Wow.
Wow.
He can't. He doesn't affect the game going forward. He's not as good defensively. What does he offer? What does he offer? He's crap, bro. He's absolutely dog crap. Like he's rubbish. And
So he's one of the ones that got to be sold.
Absolutely, he should have been sold last summer. The only reason why he didn't get sold is because he's English.
I've not heard you speak about Sessegnon like this.
I've spoken. Trust me.
I know on Twitter.
Trust me. No.
Everybody got it on Twitter.
So. If anyone who actually follows my content has been watching my post match, I've been slating this guy for the entirety of 2020. I'm done with
Chicken Royale is just such a catchy name. It's all I hear.
What about Dyer as well? What's happened to Dyer? Because he started the season well, and then now
there you go. And this is this is it again. So this is it again. And it's like you see when we were assessing the windows, and I spoke about like when we were at the end of the window, and I said I'm giving our window 6 out of 10 because it's like we've done some good things in the attack with Basuma, with Perisic, who's been shit to be fair, and with Jed Spence and stuff like that. But the centre back, everybody and their dog knew that Spurs needed minimum 2 centre backs to come in. We only brought in Longley on loan and didn't bring anyone else in. Tanganga was meant to go out on loan. I said this at the end of last season. Tanganga was meant to go out on loan in the hope that we would bring in another centre back. Tanganga's still at the club. He doesn't even play, and he's not good enough to play regularly. Eric Dyer in the last 3-4 matches, ever since that man of the match performance against Brighton, has been a man possessed in a negative way. Like he's been the drunk Dyer that we saw a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, making mistakes, unforced errors, just shocking passing, like erratic decision making. He's just been so bad, and he's just spreading nerves through our back line, through the entire back line. And you're our centre back. And the worst thing is, because we didn't bring enough centre backs in that are of a good enough standard, we can't drop him. We cannot drop him. That's the problem. And Romero's injured now. When
you were happy with him, to be fair. You were happy with him being like the linchpin in your defense. Because when I kept asking you, impressing you on this Eric Dyer guy, you was like, oh no, he's been good. He's been one of our best defenders. Good. Yeah, but bro, I told you about this fucking defense.
No, Matisse, you're not getting.
I didn't rate so many of these guys who were like, no, bro, they're playing well.
Read my lip.
The only guy that I think is actually good is Romero. Everybody else is
Eric
dead,
Dyer
bro.
is not. Eric Dyer has proven over the last 12 months. Let's not revise history here. Eric Dyer has proven over the last 12 months that he is good enough to be part of this setup, and he earned the opportunity to be.
I give you.
So you're willing to risk your content era.
Let me finish my point.
Players like this.
Please, 1 sec. Let me finish my point. I've just told you Spurs needed 2 centre backs. Why did we need 2 centre backs? We needed 2 centre backs. So if someone like Eric Dyer isn't playing well, we've got someone who can come in, or we got someone who can bench Eric Dyer, and then we had someone who could bench Davies. These guys proved they proved over the last 12 months, irrespective of what other people think, that they can be good squad players. And Dyer has been
good squad players, exactly. So you were going to buy starters.
But I just said that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So they're not good enough to start.
I don't know what you're saying here.
I'm saying, bro, that they're not good enough to start. And you were saying to me that Eric Dyer, no, he's proven that he's fine to start. He's been playing really well. And I said, regardless of that, when it comes to the top level, if you're trying to win trophies, because this is short term with Conte, this guy needs replacing and just outright improved upon. Not 100%. Competition and we'll buy someone and we'll see how it goes. Like literally go and get yourself some world-class centre backs.
Matisse, let me break it down for you. Yeah, in the summer, the club were not going to buy 2 60 million pound centre backs. Yeah, it wasn't going to happen. That's 100 million. Minimum on 2 centre backs. That wasn't going to happen. So the plan was to try and maybe get one that can do a job and get one that's a guaranteed starter. You should have brought 2. When we signed Longley, my thinking was this guy can cover Dyer's position and this guy can cover Ben Davies' position. If you're signing him on loan, you're signing him on loan on the provision that you're going to bring in another top-notch centre back. They didn't do that. So yes, I said that Eric Dyer deserved the chance to prove that he's starting quality this season. And I stand by that. And we're now in October and I'm seeing the experiment. It's time to die an ugly death. It's time to die an ugly death. And with Dyer again, it's just head loss the last 3-4 matches because he's capable of playing better than this. He is. And annoyingly, again, it's the same situation that bites us in the arse. When we give these guys too much responsibility, they show their true colors, and it's really nasty to see. It's really nasty to see.
Yeah, I'm looking at your transfers, and in terms of the impact, obviously Longley, he was always going to be a backup. Jed Spence,
Longley's been good. Longley's been good.
Good in a sense of, you know what I mean, for what you've kind of wanted. I don't know. Good. For me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've not seen the impact. Just looking from the outside point of view. Jed Spence, again, not been given opportunity. The one I'm most surprised about is Basuma. Basuma has been underwhelming. Very, very underwhelming. I don't know if it's because of the system, if he's allowed to do what he's done at Brighton. I'm not sure, but Basuma has been underwhelming. Obviously, Richarlison, you know what I mean, hasn't got the goals that we wanted. Obviously, for the price tag. Price tag. 60 million. It's always going to be 60 million. But again, the signings that you've got in, they've not done anything to help you guys. And that's as simple as that. And Perisic, now you said, is underwhelming. And it's just a bit of a, when you look at that summer, you said 6 out of 10. For what they've impacted, probably been a 3 out of 10. I
think I disagree with. I think Richarlison has impacted us, but of course, like, I get it. 60 million, you need goals. So
exactly. You need goals.
Yeah. He's got to hold that one until he starts scoring. Fair enough, but I can't sit here and tell you that Richarlison's been a flop. I don't believe he has, because when he's played for Spurs, for the most part, he's been impactful and he's actually helped us change. Not 1, not 2, not 3 matches. Basuma, fair enough, he's not played well. He's been underwhelming. I don't even think he was bad against Newcastle, but that's what happens when you don't rotate this team and you don't give this guy a rhythm. He's a new signing and he's only started 3 or 4 Premier League matches this season. Again, I'm looking at the manager. I'm looking at Antonio Conte, because nobody can tell me that Basuma is a scrub. Nobody.
No, it's true.
It's a quality. Nobody. He's a quality player.
I don't care how bad he's played. He needs a run of games. He needs to build up a rhythm.
So that means if you're going to do that, are you keeping the 3-man midfield of Bentancur,
It's not even about
Basuma, or are you rotating it more? Are you saying
it's rotating? It's rotating. There have been many games this season where Bentancur and Højbjerg are playing 90 minutes, and in some of those matches they're not even playing well, and Basuma don't even touch the pitch. What's that about? What is that about? When we're playing Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, you need to rotate this team. Oliver Skipp, that was his first start of the season. And again, I thought he was actually all right. I didn't think he was bad at all. So for me, again, I'm looking at the manager. Start rotating the squad. Of course, his hands are tied. His hands are tied in certain respects, but you don't know how much I love Conte. But if I'm looking at it this season, I don't think he's got the best possible out of that squad. I don't think he has. I think he has too much reliance on chip players. I think he's too stubborn when he's too stubborn to change his initial approach when it's not working. Look at the subs that we made in the second half yesterday. Yeah, I get it. Injuries are part and parcel, but you're chasing the game 2-1 down. Why am I seeing Doherty and Davies come on the pitch? Why am I seeing Emerson Royale, Davison Sanchez, and Ben Davies in a flipping back three? No, sorry, Eric Dyer and Ben Davies in the back three at home to Newcastle. What the fuck is that about? What is that about? What is that about? Like that doesn't even make sense. Like
it's genuinely, there's better options on the West Ham bench.
Are you doing that to preserve your defensive stability? Because Newcastle was still getting at us yesterday in the second half.
Can I just say though, your bench is disgusting.
Yeah. The bench is, listen, Matisse, the bench isn't good and the bench isn't good with the injuries. When everyone is fit, our bench is not bad. It's not the bee's knees, of course, but it's not bad. There's options there that you can use to change the game.
I was gonna actually like come in defense of Conte and Spurs just a little bit, because of the injury situation. So I have to keep the same energy. When I was discussing Liverpool, I mentioned 5-6 players. You had no Richarlison, no Kulusevski, no Romero, and who was the other one? Højbjerg. That is pretty much down the spine of your team. Okay, Kulusevski and Richarlison are 2 attackers. But where the criticism, and it's pretty much same as Klopp, where you lot came for Klopp, and I agreed with you. It's pretty much on Conte and his style. Like, he refuses to budge. And this is why you was going mad and writing essays on Twitter. Because I could feel the frustration and the heat coming out your head. because this guy refused to do anything about it in terms of formation, throw caution to the wind, anything like that. Now, first and foremost, I thought Newcastle were going to give you a hard game anyway. So Newcastle done what they
How
had
did
to
you
do.
think they played in the first half before the mistake?
I thought first half an hour you were in total control. First 20 minutes to half an hour. Second half, you know, it was end-to-end kind of game because they were catching you in a counter. You was going for them. But I thought in that first 20 minutes to half an hour, you should have taken a lead. But he's relying so much on Kane and Son. I wanted to ask you, is there any danger of Kane not wanting this for the next 2-3 years, the last 2-3 years of his career? Is he really going to want to be just a lone man up front with Son supporting him now and again, or maybe another attacker now and again? Like, because this guy won't let a front man on his own be supported with anyone else. He's so defensive, and you argued with me a few weeks ago about he's not defensive. Have you changed your mind?
I think he's been more defensive than I've wanted this season, but I still don't think he's this total defensive manager. I don't think that, because if he was, you wouldn't have
you've just said he is. You frustrated with his
on evidence this season, yes. But generally, I don't think that's the case. I do think he's too risk averse. I think he's too risk averse. And the point you're making about Harry,
that's a nerd way. That's a Matisse.
It's not a nerd way. It's not a nerd. It's not a nerd way.
Yeah, I'm the one called the nerd.
For such a defensive manager, you saw smash goals past plenty teams in the backstage of last season. Don't say it's the truth. It's the truth. Don't say it's the truth.
Long time ago now, long time.
Yeah. And so then I said, in the context of this season, you're right, but generally, no, you're wrong. So again, you're talking about Harry Kane and Son. Again, ask the manager.
Are we allowed to have a little vote between us, the six of us here? Are we allowed to have a little vote? Is Conte a defensive manager?
You can agree. You can think that.
I mean, there's three midfielders in there, not an ounce of creativity. He doesn't want to buy a 10. He keeps playing Emerson Royale, who's shit going forward. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say on that one. So that answers the question.
No, but you didn't. What was the vote? I asked.
I mean, that's not screaming yes. You got Spence that could potentially go on that right wing back spot and be better.
Everyone knows his style, though. GRIZZ, why are you acting like you don't know? Like, everyone knows, man.
He could have gone. He could have gone and got Ericsson on a free. He decided not to. Even
I think he wanted Ericsson. He came out and said recently that he wanted Ericsson.
So how did you guys not get him then?
I don't know. Something dodgy.
Even if you had him, Toby, as like an option in the squad, I'm not saying you have to start him if you want to be risk averse at the start, but then you bring him on off the bench. That's a good option off the bench. When I'm looking at
you're just regurgitating things I've already said.
Yeah, but I'm asking you right now. When you look at your bench, what did you want him to do? Because your bench is awful. I'm not saying that he's.
I didn't want him to bring on two defenders when we're chasing the game, Matisse. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, but you got bonehead Lucas Moura you don't rate. Gil, who doesn't do shit. Who else? Like what else?
Bro, throw on Brian Gill. Throw on Brian Gill. Big man team. Throw on Brian Gill. I know that he's lightweight and stuff, but I'm sorry. When we're sat there watching this game and you need to put pressure on Newcastle. Doherty is not going to come on and put pressure on them. Davies is not going to come on and put pressure on them. Brian Hill will. When you looked at the bench, yes, Lucas Moura is a bonehead, but he's going to come and dribble at them as poor as he is. Perisic is going to put crosses into the box, and then you're thinking, okay, cool, that's not made the impact that I want. What else can I do with this bench? Brian Hill. He can run out plays, even though he's flimsy. And Jed Spence. If I'm bringing on any defender, I'm bringing on Jed Spence. This guy was averaging the most dribbles per 90 of any fullback in the championship last year. In fact, obviously you don't. It's maybe you don't want to compare championship to Premiership, but if you look at average dribbles per 90 for any fullback, I think he had the highest. You're not going to find out without him trying it. You're not going to find out what this is about. And this is my point.
If Mourinho would, I'm just saying, Mourinho and Nuno would never have got away with some of this shit. It's mad what he's doing. Like it is.
And why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? What did Conte do for us that they didn't?
What, get you top 4?
Get back to more.
Get you top 4 as if it's just light work. What did he do that they didn't do?
How long was Mourinho? Mourinho got you to a cup final, and you didn't get
that statement has just irked me now. What did he do that those guys didn't do?
Hold on, he got top 4, but did he not get back more as well? Has he not been back more than them already?
How
financially?
How?
financially,
Financially.
in the summer, did he? has he not
Financially,
been
money
back
wise.
Money.
cash money.
Has he? Because I will hold judgment on Conte, honestly, till the end of the season. Because
Same.
you are right.
Yeah.
Last
You've got
season,
to.
he came in and he got you top 4. Like, so, Tobes, I get what you're saying. You want some respect on him that he got you top 4 last season. I get that. I'm holding out, and I've said from the start until March, yeah. But if in March you're out of all cup competitions and you're not challenging, he has to hold the same energy that Jose held, because he would have been there longer and he'd been backed more.
No, worse.
Well,
If they don't get top 4, I still believe they'll get top 4. I still believe that, first and foremost. I want to get that out there. But if they don't,
I want to see your top 4, Grizz. I want to see your top 4.
Mine's not changed much, you know. Mine's not changed much.
If they don't, then like I said before, a ball was kicked. If we don't get top 4, it's been a very, 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 very disastrous.
No, he's got a goal now. And he won't survive.
What if he gets his trophies?
But
I like
can
that
we
one.
talk about his interview yesterday? Because this is important, right? His interview after the game yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it, Turkish, but it's an interesting one for Arsenal fans, because for a while Arsenal have been knocked for trust the process, right? Conte came out and clearly stated everyone needs to understand this is a process. And we are early in our process, which is kind of confusing, because that kind of tells me maybe he wants to stay at Tottenham longer. He was talking about we need more players. You know, we haven't got a squad that can take. We've got a squad that can compete if a game was every 6 days. We haven't got a squad that compete when games are every 3 days. So he's kind of telling Tottenham fans, you need to trust this process right now. And it's, I don't know if he knows about the whole thing that was going on over at Arsenal, but right now, how do you feel about that? Are you ready to trust his process?
Are you asking me or?
Yeah.
When have I not trusted his process?
Oh, look at that!
When have I not trusted these processes?
I'm
a fierce. I hate using that word process, but I'm a fierce Conte defender.
He used it.
I know what he can provide.
First SAEED, then MATISSE, now TOBS. All following in this.
I don't know about that. I didn't say TOBS.
Relax.
And the thing is, this whole process. The thing is, the process.
I trust the process.
The whole. I hate this word process.
Of course you do.
Conte is a now manager. I don't expect Conte to be here for even 3 years, let alone like 4 or 5. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't expect him to be here. But whilst he's here, we need to build. We need to build incrementally. And
say that again.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
That's not something that's going to be done in 2 windows. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I remember off the back of our window, people were trying to pretend as if Spurs could challenge for the title and stuff. Like, what are you talking about? This team's not good enough to challenge for the title. Just getting gas because we got Antonio Conte. Like, it takes time. It doesn't absolve.
You've got time though. When you look at Son and Kane's age, like what's time?
That's what I'm thinking. That's why, yeah, it's crazy.
What do you mean?
29 and 30. I think they are now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
No,
what's
I think
time?
Son's 30 now.
Son, there's questions of a Son already, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a question that I think DAPS said it will came on to us, or GRIZZ, someone said it will came on to
contract.
even if it does, even if it does, really let's say 3 years, you're gonna be able to get maybe the best out of them or some quality out of them. So what time
isn't Kane's contract up the end of next summer 2024? So he needs. So that would mean he needs to sign a contract in the next 7-8 months, or you'd want to sell him. Otherwise, he goes on a free.
All of this is not screaming very long term.
So you can. The thing is with Harry Kane and Conte, the trusted club correspondents have indicated that Antonio Conte is willing to sign a new deal at Spurs, and Kane's future is linked with Conte's future. I think Kane would potentially be willing to stay at Spurs, but you would need to guarantee that someone like Conte stays at Spurs. You made the point on Conte's received more backing than these guys. Yeah, if you look in January when we signed Kulusevski and Bentancur, that was off the back of a really poor summer transfer window where we didn't sign. I think the only attacker we signed was a flipping 20-year-old in Brian Hill. The only good player we signed in that summer window was Romero. So again, January we're playing catch up. or playing catch up to fix a really, really rotten squad. If you look at the squad that he picked up in November, that squad was on its knees. Terrible. The dirtiest of dirty squads. And even this summer, with the investment we've had to actually make it much better, it wasn't enough, as you've seen. There's still gaps in defense. There's still gaps in midfield. There's still gaps at wing back. It wasn't enough.
If Kane signs a new contract, regardless of Conte signing, it's dependent on how you guys play, in my opinion, the football that you expect to get better. If Kane signs a new contract with you guys playing this type of football, with the amount of players, the lack of players that he has surrounding him going forward, and the amount of like responsibility he has to do for this team, because he's your best chance creator without Kulusevski, and even with Kulusevski, he's still probably your best chance creator. He set up the first 2 chances for Son. If he has to, in the latter part of his career, drag this Tottenham team and pray to God that a Carabao Cup comes out of it, if he signs a new contract under them conditions, I'm sorry, it's foolishness. Pure foolishness.
It is foolishness. And again, I'm looking at the board. I'm looking at the board and I'm looking at Conte. I'm looking at the board first before I look at Conte, because Conte didn't sign Emerson Royale. We didn't. Conte
to be fair to Toby, he did say
30th of dirty squads. Yeah, your squad was some way off what Arteta walked into Arsenal with. You imagine walking into a side with, at the time, what many deemed 2 world-class players, Harry Kane's son. You had Ndombele, Romero. You loved Lloris up until maybe an hour ago. You haven't.
I still love Lloris.
I love him. That's up to you. But I'm saying he's walked into a team that's got a couple world-class players, a few more solid additions. It's not like he walked into what Arsenal was 3 years ago with absolutely nothing.
To be fair, a lot of those players.
No, you can't lodge your. I've said this before. Arteta walked into a mess.
Why do I give a mess?
Can I ask Spurs didn't walk into a mess?
Why do I give a shit about Arteta? What Arteta walked into?
No, I'm just giving you a comparison, isn't it?
A lot of the players you're talking about.
I know, but you're giving me a comparison. But what does that have to do with?
I'll tell you what, because we used it on Tuchel as well. We said Tuchel has walked into a lot of good players, so we use that to bash him. That's why you should not care, but that's why we're having a chat about it, because all of these managers we said walked into good teams. Ten Hag walked into a team.
So let me get this straight. So you want to tell me that the team that Conte inherited last year was a good team?
No.
He had good players.
Good players. And I'm added to those. Count
those good players on your hand. The team that he inherited in November.
So we just said a few there, right? We said about 5 there, no? That's half.
Lloris, Romero.
Yep, Lloris, Romero.
Kane,
you rated Højbjerg. You rated Højbjerg, didn't you?
Højbjerg, yeah, go on.
You like Kane,
Son, Kane.
Yep, that's 5.
You like Dyer?
Yeah.
Dyer,
Dyer's a good player. When have you heard
that? You told me. You told me Dyer's a good player. I would come out your mouth.
Matisse, stop it. I said Dyer's been good for Spurs. I didn't say he's a good player. Stop lying.
Oh, behave. You have definitely said he's a good player.
Don't piss me off, Matisse.
I didn't say Dyer's a good player. Brother, don't piss me off. I'm saying on this Dyer.
Don't piss him off.
Telling me Dyer's a good player. You said Dyer. You said actually, do you know what? Skullfugger, you can go and find the damn sentence on the show. Find it. You said multiple times on this show, Dyer is a good player. You've said it so many times.
I said Dyer's been good for Spurs. I didn't say he's a good player, bro. Stop it.
Lucas, legend.
Was that Ndombele there? Was that Ndombele there when he came in?
Ndombele's done. He can't play for Conte. Why are we talking about Ndombele? It's 5 years. You man are acting like you've not watched the same Ndom.
All right, listen, let's move on, man. Let's move on. You know what?
That's your Ndom, fam.
What point are you?
That's your Ndom.
That's the region.
That's your
Yeah. Always saying, yo, calm down. Always saying is we think Conte walked into not as a bad a scenario situation as Arteta.
Why do I care about that though?
Because you used to reference it. You used to reference it when me and you used to have a debate. When you used to think I'm arse-licking the man, whatever. And I said, well, he's walked into a worse situation than you guys, and he's building up. I didn't expect more Conte stylistically. I think you're about where you deserve to be. Are you third?
Well, third. So
I think it's calm. I just think
all this talk on Conte.
No, I'm not cussing him.
That's our first back-to-back Premier League loss since February.
I'm still saying you can finish in top 4
since February. Perspective, please.
I enjoy it.
I'm there. I'm there with the
Why are you
No.
losing your head? Then? Don't lose your head.
I'm losing your head because you're lying.
No,
I'm
don't
tired
lose
of
your head
these
on
stupid
Twitter.
lies.
Don't lose your head
And
on
you know
Twitter,
what?
man.
You know what? We're gonna. The thing is, it's great. It's great.
Bro,
that we're
don't lose
speaking
your
about-
head on Twitter, man. You're third.
It's great that we're
What are you
spoken about
complaining
Spurs because
for?
we're gonna
Because you
speak
said
on
the
Chelsea
football. You
next.
said the football's gonna get better, and
It's
and
gonna
there's
get
not.
better.
So there's nothing
That's
to worry
fine.
about then.
Yeah,
So
that's
don't
it.
worry
That's
then.
it.
Cool.
I just
Don't
want the
worry
football
then.
to get better. I just
Don't
want the football
worry.
to get better.
That's cool, Matisse. Yeah, you're right. Don't worry. We're gonna talk on Chelsea. We're gonna talk on Chelsea now. The Foxy Blues. We're gonna talk on Chelsea. Yeah?
Why are we worried then? I don't get.
Before we
We're
do,
gonna
let's
talk on Chelsea now. Don't
Let's
worry.
go to the super chats before we do top. So just hold on there a little while longer. LJ Brown says, Toby, just remember, like your idol, Will Smith. What do you mean idol? Whenever someone winds you up, Woosa. Matisse and SAEED, don't laugh. We all know you used to get jiggy with it, right, Mr. Slice of Life, TJ Henderson. Cool. DJ, nah, these refs need to explain themselves and VAR too. I'm an Arsenal fan, but that Bournemouth match showed me match fixing is as easy as 1, 2, and 3. I should have saved that for the Arsenal one, but that's a Chelsea one there. Certain man having only 4 successful passes whole game. That's one from earlier. JJ says, big up the man. Them can't wait for every show. Make me a mod Turkish. Been around since day one. Come on, you Gunners. A draw, not the worst, considering how other results went. JJ, I remember you, my bro. Look for the super chats as well. Just see another one. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go, and even when they don't go. TOBS has got thick skin now. No longer needs to set alarms for the show. Big up for that, JJ. Remember before Chelsea, Tottenham, Turkish said he hoped for a draw. TOBS said, how is that relevant to you? Spurs fans overconfident, bet Conte walks before end. TOBS, world-class Conte, you keep telling us. When are we going to see it, says Dial Square. And Philippe, Newcastle fans.
You saw it last season when he pipped you for top 4, you melt.
Damn, man. That was violence.
All right.
That's so violent.
I'm tired of these Arsenal fans pretending as if they weren't crying the whole summer, bitching and moaning in my mentions about missing out on top 4.
Listen.
It was the reason why we got top 4.
Calm down a bit, TOBS.
Nah, don't tell me calm down. You can get it wrong. Don't tell me calm down.
He's fucking pissed.
No, man. You shouldn't tell someone to calm down, man. That's the worst thing you can do. Just leave it.
Relax.
Yeah, you're right. I don't
Relax. Yeah, relax. You can say.
Take it easy. It's gonna get better, bro. So proud of my team. We're going about our thing. GRIZZ may be right about us getting Europe. Eddie Howe has been amazing for us. Big up the panel. Philippe, love for the love as always, my guy. Was a big win.
Big up Newcastle. I said it start of season.
Yeah,
Same.
It's mad. I want to echo what Matisse said from last week. This cooking nonsense from the children in the chat gets cringe at times.
Yeah.
This show is so much more than that. Big up. All. Milo, love for that, my bro. I agree as well. Where are we? Paul Tierney again. Thanks for the few replies. Sorry, don't know the name. Interesting from the Spurs fan. The last thing that I'd think of doing each to their own. I hope you're a football coach. Dedication. Big up Skip. And Jerome says, TOBS, why are you so quiet? Just say it with your chest. Tottenham are trash. Mourinho, Nuno, Conte, Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man. Liverpool going back to the days of Jay Spearing and Martin Squirtle. Imagine, love to see it. At least they match Leicester's record of 1 Premier League and Blackburn. I'm not liking this energy from Turkish on that note. He's getting a little too cocky. When Arsenal fall, don't let him sit on the fence, boys. What fence, man? This is what I want to talk to.
Trust me, bro. It's no.
His dogs.
He's off it, man.
He thinks we don't notice how smug he is these days and some of the little jibes he makes.
Well, guess what? My club's doing better, and I can put my chest out a bit more. Who would have thought?
Cool.
Who would have
Put your chest up, brother.
It's in a music show. It's a football show, isn't it? So
Put your chest up, bro. Please, come on.
Yeah,
Flex that chest of yours, man. Come on.
Worry,
come
man.
on, G.
If you lot was here, if you lot was in this position now, t-shirts would be overheads. Antonio's name would be sung from rooftop. Listen, moving in silence, my bro. Moving in
You're
silence.
not moving in silence, though. You're literally doing the opposite of moving in silence.
It's I host the show. I have to talk. What do you want me to do? Just be quiet.
Then don't stop moving in silence.
Yeah, move in silence, man. Just leave me to it.
Okay, mate.
If we finish 6 Liverpool, yeah, I'm gonna start hosting a show and then Turkish can talk like a proper thing. So I'm just gonna have to be a host and hold it, pretend I'm Arsenal, all right, going forward from next season. Is that a deal? Is that a deal? Shall we do that?
Nah.
We mean,
no, you can be Liverpool. You can be.
We
Liverpool.
mean No. If we
Because
finish
Liverpool might
sixth,
get worse next
Nah,
season.
nah.
innit?
If
You
we
know what I mean?
finish
It's
sixth,
like,
I
it's
want
gonna
you
be
to
nice.
keep talking. I want you to keep talking, man.
no. If we finish sixth, I ain't talking shit.
No, I want you to keep talking. Don't go
Like
anywhere.
community service.
Don't go anywhere, please.
Community service.
Community service. We need it every week, man.
Anyway.
Play says, I've been hearing from all Spurs fans, O'Hara, how Spurs need credit for what? This lot have conceded an average of 15 shots in all of their games this season. Jason asked Tobes, are you still confident in Conte to get you guys success, or are you ready for a change? I know you would like an upgrade to the squad already. Gareth says, you can't polish a turd, and there's plenty of turds in this Tottenham team.
Big facts.
And Geraldo, Toby said Conte isn't an overly defensive manager. Matisse, tell him about City 1, Chelsea 0, 2017-18.
I refuse to talk about it.
I've
It's
watched.
that bad. I'm not talking about that game. Worst game I've ever watched.
And another one here on the Tottenham game. Too many men says Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. And bollocks to Spurs and their supposed process that relies on one player. Stay humble, Tobes. Love for the Arsenal. Hashtag come on, you Gunners. Love to everyone that sent in super chats. I have got one saved from the Chelsea one, and if I've missed any, I'll try and get them in as well, people. But we have got another couple to talk about, and I might as well say over to you guys. Matisse, SAEED, 1-1. I don't know. It was a funny one because it's you can't really say. Well, United did score late and equalize, but on the big scheme of things, Matisse, what'd you take from it?
It's why I'm not cooking, really. Like, come on. You know, people are saying cook this, cook that. I'm not hungry. Do you know what I'm saying? Really, and I didn't even cook toast. So I don't know why he's sitting up like that. I just asked.
What do you mean? You don't? You're asking divisive.
I didn't cook you. I said that. All I said is I held you to your Eric Dyer opinion.
You're asking big boy questions, so I'm gonna ask you big boy
You
questions.
can ask as many big boy questions as you want.
You
Look at bro. Why is it forward? It's so shiny as well. Look how shiny your forehead is, bro.
That's what happened in the game because I'm gonna ask you some big boy questions.
Bro, you need to relax, bro.
Toby's in his
Calm down.
Southpaw stance, bro.
Look at you. You're all sitting up all attentive, bro. This is not class, bro.
Let's go.
He's ready to go, man.
So anyway, this is why you know it's not a cooking fest today, because at the end of the day, nobody's team won apart from DAPS. So no one's really coming into this show happy with the team's performance. I don't get a thrill out of watching other teams drop points when my team didn't even do their thing, didn't do their job. To be fair, it should be SAEED speaking first because Man United were the better team. You know what I mean? That's where the focus has to start. Man United come to the stadium, bopped us about for the first half an hour. On and off the ball, they were stronger. Casemiro man of the match, which is ironic because he's exactly the type of player that we need. Somebody who can deal with transitions, that can maybe allow us to push more men forward if we do attack. The guy was brilliant. Like he didn't start the season. Obviously, he wasn't playing the first few games, but now the guy is showing his class, man. Winning the ball, stopping counters. I think he made the most ball recoveries. Obviously, got the goal. And if it wasn't for Kepa, and if it wasn't for maybe Trevor as well, man the match, we would have been losing that game. So I'm at a point where I'm like, do you know what? I can understand why we're not continuing our great form. If you look at the first few games, we were playing good football, we were playing well, scoring goals, but now we're playing some tougher opposition. Man United have been playing well. They bopped Tottenham around as well. Bopped them proper. And it's one of them things where I'm like, do you know what? Potter he's made a couple errors the last couple games, but I do feel like in this game, his hands were tied a little bit with some of the players that were out. Again, I'm not making excuses with injuries because I don't feel like with the amount of depth that we have and the amount of options that we have, we should be playing that poorly at home. But I definitely feel like a lack of preseason and obviously just playing every couple of games, you're not really going to get to fully implement what you want in this team. And there are still some fundamental issues in this team that we continue to not address. Jorginho, for me, I wouldn't give him a new contract. Aspie, for me, shouldn't have got a new contract. We've got to try and freshen up that situation at centre back because obviously that Silva's getting on in age and you can't just keep always trying to shield him with the three at the back. Once Potter was actually making that substitution, he brought on Kova for Cucurella, we actually started to look a lot better because we were getting outnumbered.
Contract for Jorginho?
Because for me, we need more mobility in that midfield. I don't want to see Jorginho looking up to the heavens when people are running at him.
When he was voted third in the Ballon d'Or.
But Toby, you have to understand when he was voted third in the Ballon d'Or, he had an incredible year. You can't just pretend like he didn't.
Incredible,
You know,
yeah.
he was a great, brilliant player in a Champions League run. He was brilliant for his country that won the Euros. If you don't want to acknowledge that, that's fair enough. But
So in the space of less than a year,
hold on,
less than a year, he's gone from.
But that can happen. That can happen.
He doesn't deserve a new contract,
bro. But listen, I'm not sentimental. I'm not sentimental. If a player for me, if I'm not because I didn't want Aspie to get a new bumper contract, even though he's a legend and he's our captain.
Aspie, I mentioned
and I didn't, and yeah, but Aspie's another one that shouldn't have got a new contract. I don't want Jorginho. I said last season towards the back end that time for Jorginho to not get a new contract. You can say maybe similar to Fabinho. There's a little bit of a decline. I don't care if I see a player is dropping off massively and their performance is dipped and it's consistent, especially in the Premier League. Those great performances were in the Champions League, different tempo potentially, Euros, international, different tempo. Bread and butter is Premier League, and bread and butter in the Premier League, he hasn't been consistently good enough. So I have no problem saying he doesn't get a new contract. I also said Kante doesn't get a new contract. That was very unpopular in the fan base, but Kante isn't consistently fit. Much like Liverpool, we need to have midfielders that are consistently fit. I don't want injury-prone midfielders. I don't want players that, from a mobility standpoint, we have to cover and that we have to see get skipped past constantly, and potentially other players have to cover for them even more. But nobody played well apart from Trevor and Kepa. You know, I didn't think Aubameyang was good. I didn't think Sterling was great. I didn't think Loftus-Cheek was good. I didn't think Chilwell was bad for the goal. Sterling, you want me to talk on Sterling?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Sterling's a tough one because I can only see so many attackers come through and play poorly and think, okay, maybe you have to look at other areas as well. Like Sterling has been poor the last couple of games, and I don't think he should be starting. I think Pulisic deserves an opportunity to play. But he wasn't. He was playing in the front too. And one thing I will say about Chelsea on the weekend is that we did not commit any bodies forward. It was like waves of 2 players max, maybe sometimes if you're lucky 3. When I compare that to Man United, they had like 5-6 players forward. They were committing men forward. There was plenty of people to link up with, plenty of combination play, plenty of players to interchange with and combine with. We didn't have that. Everybody was isolated. It was like half chances, little cross here for Aubameyang, little cross there, scraps, 2 shots on target the whole game. So as much as Sterling hasn't been good, Sterling is still a very, very good top player. Very good, and then in between top player, depending on whether he's in and out of form. And for me, I can't say that, oh, Sterling's now some dead player that suddenly is no longer good at football because of us. That you know, when this many players come through and don't play well, you have to look and say it's probably a you problem. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's why I want to get rid of some of these aging players that I feel limit the team from a mobility standpoint and even a technical standpoint, because then maybe we could open the team up a little bit more and be a little bit more expansive. So, but like I said, the credit goes to Man United. They should have won the game.
Yeah.
But you didn't take your chances. You didn't take your chances. Anthony, I thought, was by far your most threatening winger. I do think he's starting to make Sancho look a little bit silly, because it's mad how he's acclimatized like that. And Sancho is, if Sancho was given the same threat as Anthony, wow, that would be mad. Man United would be a problem, big problem, because I'm not going to lie to you, I was shitting myself with Anthony on that right side. He'd nutmeg Chilwell, got 2 good shots off.
Jogo Benito, man. Jogo Benito.
He was proper.
You know what I'm saying? He's the guy, man. He's the guy, man. But you know what? I thought we nullified Chelsea. We didn't give Sterling space. We didn't give Aubameyang space. Martinez, listen, people need to put respect on this guy's name, man. Warrior, defending, like I said, man, I think it's one of the best, you know what I mean, right now in terms of form-wise, he's showing it. Casemiro showed his class, unbelievable. You know what I mean, dictated that midfield, didn't really give them any opportunities to come out. I think Ten Hag got his game plan right again, but it's just how attackers can't finish their dinners, man. Rashford, man, this guy, all he does is spam. You know what I mean? Every shot, man, doesn't look up. Just chill out, man. Compose yourself. Take your time and score. Anthony, again, you know what I mean? Didn't use his right foot. Again, not the best with his right foot. I thought we dominated most parts of the game. I think Chelsea got away with it because McTominay was an absolute fool. And then we came in at the end and grabbed a draw. But on the base of the game, I thought we dominated the game and we gave Potter a torrid time. We had to change the system, get Kovacic in there, get some numbers in there. Still, we had the combinations, like you said, Matisse, were just in and around there, creating chances, trying to create things. I think the second half drifted off and probably a draw was a fair result, but I still think in that first half we were so dominant, and I think we didn't capitalize on it. It's as simple as that, man. But for us, I'm still happy with the way we're playing. Ten Hag, people are starting to see what Ten Hag is trying to do now. You know what I mean? And a lot of people just can't say. You know, at the start of the season, people were saying, "Oh, Ten Hag's a bit boring football." I don't think it is boring football. People need to understand that not everything has to be fast paced. It's methodical. We're trying to play out from the back. People are, you know, Sandro Martinez is trying to get the ball in the lines and play it. You see the 1-2 combinations. It's not boring. It's just that this team will develop. And obviously, certain players are shining, certain players are not. You know what I mean? And we'll get to that. Obviously, I let Toby hold that.
I think you man in the second half.
I'm not going to say anything.
In the second,
there you go then. Thank you very much.
In the second half, you got tired. Really, is what I noticed.
Yeah, we didn't have any options.
Yeah,
our depth was the reason why I don't think we won that game. I genuinely mean that. If we had a bit of depth in that game, I thought we could have won that game. But I think Ten Hag was like, you know what, bring it on, Fred. It's not already going to change the game. We might add a bit of energy in there. McTominay, come on, the bench was just meaty, and I feel like that ultimately kind of was like, you know what, Ten Hag was like, you know, we'll take the draw, and I feel like he was happy with the draw.
I wish we made our subs earlier, and I said that I think against Brentford as well. I really wish we made our subs earlier because I was watching that second half and I said Man United are there for the taking. I was saying it in my watch along. Not that we played well in the second half, we were all right, but we didn't fully take advantage of the fact that Man United were tiring. They exerted a lot of their energy in the first half, and then when I look at their bench, I know that there's nobody coming on to really impact this game properly, and we were just a little bit cautious. And I felt like we should have got those subs on earlier. Maybe we could have peppered them because we never really peppered you lot how you peppered us in the first 30 minutes. And that's my biggest disappointment. As much as some people will say, okay, maybe I'm being too lenient and I'm saying, oh, Man United deserve to win. When I take our strongest part of the game and your strongest part of the game, it's not the same level. And that's something that really shouldn't be happening when you're at home. But
two questions.
Yeah,
two questions for both of you. So I'm going to start with Chelsea on do you remember the talk a couple of weeks ago when you beat Milan? And it wasn't from you. And all of a sudden we're seeing, oh, Graham Potter, he's already getting more out of the Chelsea attacks and stuff. Like, what is the perception of your attack now? Because I still think that Kai Havertz guy is busted. I'm really annoyed with him. I don't rate Pulisic. And now Sterling, I think Sterling is one that he definitely can. I do rate Sterling. I think he's quality. I think Sterling is one that he can improve, but he's been crap the last couple of games. And then Aubameyang, Aubameyang, I don't even think he's been poor, but when you have that type of striker in your team, that's not really going to contribute much to your overarching play. He needs chances. So when he doesn't get chances, he's basically out of the game.
The reason
are you worried about your attack over the course of this season?
Of course. This is the reason why I wasn't excited for Aubameyang is not because Aubameyang is not a good finisher. It's because, like you said, he is. I mean, his link-up's actually been good this season, but he's not going to help create his own work, his own chances. He's not going to help chance creation. He is waiting for the chance. He is waiting for the service, and I don't like the service outside of Reece James.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah, he's injured again. God help us all. Mason Mount has improved under Potter, but wasn't good against United.
Crap against United.
Yeah, so he did improve and he did snap out of it. Kai is just Kai has to fix up this season, or like I said, if Bayern Munich or we get a decent offer, I've seen some rumors. I don't have any sentiments because at the end of the day, I'm trying to see this, and this is where if he doesn't work out. This is I will take a huge L with this because I've got a lot of stocks in Kai, like you had a lot of stocks in on Ndombele. But at the end of the day,
that's a good one.
At the end of the day, he's not. Do you know what it is with Kai? And he didn't play this game, so it's not like as if this is a Man United topic, but he's been put in a position to flourish under Potter. He's been moved a bit deeper. He's meant to be more involved. He's not playing false nine. He's not playing up front. He's not being played as a pressing striker or whatever the hell you want to call it. He's been put in a deeper role. Now it's time for you to strut your stuff. Show some creativity. Take some players on. Show some passing. Show some dribbling. Show anything. Show some, also, not even just that. Show that you as a footballer can handle the Premier League from a physicality standpoint. Don't get bodied off the ball easily. Don't be shrugged off the ball. Don't be, don't be weak. All of these things right now we're not getting any of it. So listen, if that doesn't improve, then maybe he needs to go to a league again where it's a little bit more soft and a little bit more nicey nice. I don't know, because we ain't got all day. But yeah, I think when it comes to the attack, this is why I wasn't excited about Aubameyang, because I don't really like the lack of creativity in the team in terms of just individuals. I don't really like the lack of there's no real, again, I said it before, there's no real elite level passer in the team to spot runs and things like that. I don't think there's an elite level passer in there. And
excited with Ronaldo?
Huh?
Will you be excited with Ronaldo to replace Aubameyang if that's true?
That doesn't even make sense though.
But Matisse don't like that subject, man.
I know. That's purposely why I asked it, bro. I saw the rumors, so I thought I'd just throw it in there.
Do you know what? Thank you for your question.
No
just like the super chats, I'm gonna say thank you for your question, because it's 7 minutes to 12. I'm not trying to rattle myself. There is no way in hell, in God's name, I'm taking Ronaldo, and that's it. That's just that. Like it's not a conversation for me.
Should we talk about another attacker then? Let's talk about SAEED's attacker, Sancho. Because SAEED,
we spent half an hour on that last time. Do we really need to talk about
we
Sancho
do. Because
I'm not gonna lie, because you had a stream and I saw Sancho in the title.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Matisse, if I had to ask you performance-wise and Turkish and DAPS, when you compare Sancho's performance on Wednesday to Saturday, what was the difference? Apart from an assist for a deflected goal from almost 20 yards out, what was the difference in the performance when Sancho was on the ball?
I'm going to give you ball retention. This Sunday, the game that he played, he kept giving the ball away against Tottenham. This is one of Sancho's attributes, is that his ball retention is very good. I think this one here, he just kept giving the ball away carelessly. That is not Sancho. Sancho takes pride in giving the 1-2s, making sure that things are ticking over. This one here, he was diabolical. This is the perfect time. If you want to speak about Sancho, he was diabolical. I have no excuses for Sancho on Sunday. It's almost as if he was like, there was so much pressure on him and every decision that he made. Go on.
I just checked the stats. He lost the ball 11 times against Spurs and lost the ball 10 times against Chelsea.
What do you mean? In terms of stats?
You said that those are the stats. You said that
yeah, but again, you know what it is.
Don't go anywhere.
You know what it is.
He's lost the ball more times against Spurs than he did against Chelsea.
I'm talking about in the manner of his decision making. In this game against Chelsea, it was more shocking. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So for me, in this game against Chelsea, I just thought for me, he did everything that the basic was wrong. And I feel like for me, that's not good enough. And that's what Ten Hag just straight away was like, right, you're off. I'm not going to give excuses to Sancho. And I've come on here, and don't lie to the chat, told me that I have not come on here and said Sancho needs to do better. Yes or no? Have I not said that? It's not as if I'm just giving Sancho no criticism at all. I'm just giving him a wave. Sancho needs to do better. But the thing for me, you know what the biggest thing for me is here, when you talk about Anthony has that personality. And I think Sancho needs to just get it out of him and say, yo, you're good, you're talented. Show it on the pitch. Like, don't be afraid to do what you need to do. Like, don't. And I feel like he's got a lot of pressure on him with himself. He wants to do certain things. Then he can't do certain things. I feel like for me, have that personality on the pitch and just play it with pride, man. And I think like right now he's hesitating in certain things.
Saeed, you know what it is? Me and Matisse spoke about this earlier. You know what's going to help Sancho?
Sorry?
When Martial comes back, yeah? Because when Martial comes back
I think you'll
right
see the
now...
better Sancho. You see the better Sancho.
No, to be honest with you, I don't even think it's that. I think potentially, because right now, I think Rashford's been all right. Yeah, I think Rashford has been all right since he's this season, but there's too much pressure on him to score goals, right? And he's not... I think, personally, Martial comes back, plays through the middle, Rashford goes out left, and Sancho gets dropped. And I think it might sound bad, but you know what? That might be good for him. A bit of competition, a bit of time away. Look, it's the same as Grealish. I think him and Sancho are actually more similar than you think. That too much pressure, they don't know how to take it. And like I've seen in Grealish over the last few weeks, he's starting to enjoy playing football again because he doesn't. There's too much pressure even on Sancho at the moment with your number 9 not scoring. It's like, well, there's more pressure on Sancho to score goals. So
But I don't,
when he's not
but
doing
I don't
that,
think the issue with Sancho is scoring goals. I think that's probably the one thing that he's proven that he's good at. If you get the ball to Jadon Sancho inside the box, I'll trust him to finish chances more so than maybe even a Marcus Rashford. I think he's a proven.
His chance conversion is. And I think with Rashford, what a lot of people do, Rashford has more shots.
Yeah, but his issue is getting into the box.
But
that's what I'm saying. He needs to carry the ball.
So that's the point I'm making. When I look at Jadon Sancho, I'm not looking at your goals. I'm looking at your dribbles. I'm looking at your ability to beat players.
Yeah, he needs to do better.
To cross the ball into the box.
Can he do better? Can he dribble?
You know my thing is though. Do you not think when there's a striker that he can link up with, and I've said it from day one, when in this club he's had Ronaldo, who again is not the best link up player. He's had Cavani. I'm not making excuses, but I will say that you will see a better Sancho. And I've said it many times on here, when there's a link-up number 9. He hasn't had that. Martial, again, isn't fit. And this is going to be key in January. Man United have to go get a striker. And then if Sancho is still playing badly and he's not linking up well with him and he's not getting into the game, then there's no excuses at all. Because then
I don't think there's any excuse now, man. Because Jadon Sancho, he's his own man. Like I get that he thrives off combinations, but he's also a winger. It's literally in his remit, in his MO, to actually take people on and actually create stuff for his team. And if you're telling me that he needs this 70 million pound number 9 to be able to beat his man, like I'm not really.
No. I don't think it's a. I'm talking about, for me, that I think an added part of his game, it will get better. And I think that's what right now is maybe missing. But don't get me wrong, though. He needs to do better just taking people on. And I think that personality that Anthony's got and that explosiveness, Sancho doesn't have it. But he can still do it, though. I think still that I believe that he can still do it. But at this minute right now, he just looks a bit like confused as to what to do to take a man on. There was a moment in the game where he needed to play the ball across. And I think someone was there at the end. And he played it to the other side. I was like, what are you doing, Sancho? Be direct. When you need to be direct, just do it. But I don't know. Like I said, people, I'm preserving my judgment till the season. Right now, obviously, there will be questions every week. But I'm just giving it to the end of the season. Then
would you do what I said though? Right now, what would you do? Would you, when Martial comes back, I presume as in fully fit, you'd play him, right? You have to.
He's getting dropped when Martial comes back.
You know what? He's getting. But for me, that relies on the manager. I'll be honest with you. If the manager,
but for you, would it be move Rashford wide, or would it be try the Martial Sancho thing?
Right now, yeah. Move Rashford wide, Anthony, and then Martial through the middle.
Yeah,
it would be based on the current form as well. Because I feel like Rashford plays better in what Ten Hag's trying to do.
From a neutral hatred position, from me being a Liverpool fan and Chelsea, Man United, when I looked at the teams, it's been a while since I looked at the teams and I thought Man United looked stronger than Chelsea here.
Yeah.
I don't know what the rest of you guys thought neutrally. I thought Man United looked stronger.
But to be fair, though, Graham Potter's only come in the job, 4
No. I don't mean how the game panned out, and I just mean the player for player. I thought Man United looked strong here and stronger than Chelsea. And that's a long time since I thought that. And the game showed it as well. I thought Man United were the better structured team. I mean, of course, it's early days for Potter. Of course, we all know that. But it's positive signs for United, man. I hate to say it and hate to see it. It's positive. Yeah.
We're looking better, man.
Much better. Much better.
Yeah. You have to credit the recruitment, right? Because so far, I think every single signing they've brought in has done a very good job.
It's improved.
They've elevated the team. Like
everything that we custom about. Yeah, every area that we custom about.
Yeah, like every single player goes straight into the 11, apart from Malacia. But the one thing with Malacia is he's done the thing that happens with Shaw, where he gets competition and starts playing well again. So, and he's only 23, so that's a good thing. And obviously, when Shaw gets older, then Malacia can come in. Eriksen's improved them. Casemiro's transformed them. Martinez, incredible as well this season, apart from a couple of games. And Anthony, like I said, I think Anthony's been brilliant. I do think with Sancho, though, the link-up thing won't save him, because you can find a more explosive winger that can also link up and can score goals. So it's like you're Manchester United. So he's going to have to find a way to. Maybe it's him moving in the 10. We spoke about it before. Maybe but Bruno's there. If he was in the 10, in the 10, he could be more like a creator. Maybe he could try and become more of like like an Odegaard in this team or someone like that.
The perfect way to say it.
I've suggested that. I think Sancho has the ability.
Man United need explosive This is what they
Yeah.
traditionally have. You
You
know,
make a
out
good
wide.
point, though. I think you make a good point, though. But his time is against Sancho. He needs to provide now. There's no kind of bedded in time now. You've got to produce now. And I think for me, we go and get Gakpo or whoever in the summer, then Sancho is not in the team. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Cams is not impressed with this.
Yeah,
unlocking
but you know what it
wingers
is, though? I'm going to give it to
conversation.
Cams, though.
And you know what? I don't
He
disagree with him. I don't.
Yeah, he
disagree with him.
didn't rate it from the start, though. When we spoke, he said, "I'm not sure about Sancho." You get me? Like, it's one of them. It's about preference as well.
Now.
I like Sancho, though.
Waiting on a number 9 to unlock Sancho is
It's not.
It's kind of weak. I can't even lie. It's kind of weak.
The top wingers are meant to take people on, take out systems almost. You know, disturb defensive blocks, and they're meant to be creating, and they're meant to be like elevating the team. Not we need you and you and you and you to make you do. Like, it's nuts, man. It's insane.
Yeah,
they're meant to be like some of the most technically gifted players in the game out wide. This is the big position.
Now, there's no excuses for me. He needs to perform better. Simple as that. And listen, Rashford's there. There's competition, so you need to step up, Rashford. Simple as that.
Let's get into some super chats because we've passed midnight already. While we get into them, people hit the like button and subscribe to the man them. And still a couple games. We'll just whiz through them considering it's an hour 55. Oh shit! I don't even mind skipping Arsenal's draw if I'm honest with you. But let me get into
Of course you don't. No.
We'll skip City. I'll tell you, skip City.
Yeah, don't go anywhere.
We've got points and you man are on it. Say no more. Until we fix this midfield, nothing will change on the pitch. Bowley is getting quality people into the club. Some of these super chats are embarrassing. You know, a winger's had a stinker when ball retention stats are brought out. Let's hope United can move on from the class of 92 pundits, passion and desire. Chat for the likes of Dan James and McTominay. Casemiro, passion and talent. Big up the show from Uganda. Love for that, my guy. And JJ's asking, SAEED, what's your view of the legend CR7 and his inevitable sour departure? The way his situation was handled is a shambles. Either should have sold him or played him, paid 500k to sit on the bench. JJ, I think it was the last show we discussed it in some detail. So if you get some time after this one or tomorrow or next day, just catch up with that one. I'm going to add the chapters into it as well, so you should be able to see it. Paul also adds a happy birthday to SAEED for the weekend as well. He said he hoped you had a good one. And cheers, guys.
Fresh haircut and that. Fresh haircut and that. Looks good.
Man, life changing it.
Mashallah.
Chelsea fan here. Matisse, let's be honest, this Potter bum ain't changed anything. We've been lucky. We've hired a man with no credentials to revitalize one of the biggest clubs in the world. No confidence. And Jashar says, big up Turkish and the panel. Let's enjoy while we can with Chestnut before winter comes. We replaced Obalak and Pepe with Jesus. Not enough. Adrian reports saying Chelsea going for Edson Alvarez in January. Thoughts, Matisse? And also, in my opinion, just hope to be within at least 3 to 4 points from the top 4 by January. Then invest. Edson Alvarez, yes, no?
I haven't watched enough of him, but I do want a midfielder in January, and I want 2 in the next 2 windows. So, I mean, if they've scouted him, then we'll have to see how it goes. But I don't know him well enough. I want to chew many in it, and that dream's dead. So
we're looking for the same type of players, brother.
Yeah, we gonna fight. We gonna fight, bro.
We exchange notes afterwards.
Yeah.
I remember when Ten Hag was rumoured, only Matisse gave him respect, the rest mocked. He didn't destroy Madrid and Juve to be compared to Potter and Arteta. I didn't mock Ten Hag.
Yeah.
In fact, I wanted him a few years ago at Arsenal, so I don't know what you're on about, my guy, but DM wanted to see Potter in a big game and he failed. So confused on what he was doing. Arsenal soon and we will lose. So bad. Game as a whole was boring. All studios, the way we played Chelsea in the first half, you would have thought they were the away team. And NN says, Sancho went from Harlem Spartans to doing licks on football clubs. Inspiring. Yeah, his story is, but there's definitely question marks about it. To be honest, what is he? Nearly a year and a half into his Man United. Is it a year and a half now?
Yeah, a year and a half, yeah.
Come on, the conversations have to be had. Chelsea parked the bus at home, crazy. Potter went by hard. I thought Tuchel was a problem. Potter won't last. He's already looking like
there needs to be some deeper level thinking here. Because if you think that Potter parked the bus because he just wanted to park it because he doesn't. This is the manager at Brighton that we was all praising that they had in 4th place. So you think he's what now parking the bus at Chelsea? Come on now. Koulibaly wasn't fit to play. Like, so we had 2 fit centre backs. So he's obviously going to play a back 3 with Silva, like I said. Kovacic is injured, so he's obviously going to play Jorginho and Ruben in there. And like I said, I feel like a lot of that starting 11 was kind of, he kind of forced himself to play those players in those roles. Obviously, the last couple of games before that, I think you can criticize a lot more, but let's not just act like Man United are some shit team. Do you know what I mean? And it can't happen. You know, it was always going to be a very close, even game. And at the end of the day, he at least he noticed where it went wrong and he changed it half an hour in. But it's too early on for me to be overdoing the criticism, man.
Sophia says Sancho has a potential to become a great player at United. I just think the kid needs to work on his confidence and intensity. Paul says we need some opposition players slander Sancho like Grealish done to Almiron. Although hated that, get the best out of him. It works. And Jerome's
get Grealish to talk on him.
A point gained despite the poor performance, sloppy passes, abysmal refereeing, and Lianco storming around the pitch like it's MMA. Obviously talking about that Arsenal game. Ronald here says, I know what you all said about Ronaldo for his recent actions. However, Xhaka asked the fans to F off, shoulder finger too. People didn't react like this then. How is it different? Fair question.
They did. Yes,
they did. Yeah, they did.
Xhaka got absolutely dragged.
He got roasted for that.
Yeah, I disagree with that massively.
It's only now that the Arsenal fans are starting to really truly forgive the guy. So that's
he's had to work for that.
Yeah,
and I don't think Ronaldo's got the time.
First and foremost, and that's what he's done. He's been our most consistent player this season. Jesus has had spurts. Martinelli and Saka have had spurts, but in terms of consistency from game week 1 to now, Xhaka has been. Look at his finish against Southampton as well. Clear strike, weaker foot, similar to his one against PSV. But yeah, let's get on to Arsenal because you lot was eager to talk. What are you man saying? 2 drop points and you man are...
No, it's just like why?
I just wanted to talk about it. I don't really have much banter to give you.
I'm not going to give you banter. You're top of the league, innit?
You won the game and you didn't.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
thank you.
It's more important than Man City. I can't lie.
Look, would you be a little bit worried that maybe the last 2 games you've looked a little bit tired, maybe?
And we
in October
looked a bit. Yeah, that's nonsense to me, man. But are you asking me have we looked tired? I don't think we've looked tired. I think in Europa League our performances have been poor from the not poor, but they haven't been the same level as Premier League because of the rotation. So park that to the side. Let me talk about Leeds and Southampton. I think Leeds' approach to the game probably stunned us a bit. They were just on it from the get-go. Overall, when you look at the game, yeah, well, we got away with the 1-0 win for sure. The Southampton one, that first...
you earned a 1-0 win. That's not getting away. It's away from home. It's a 1-0 win.
Yeah. But I mean, in terms of like referee, VAR kind of, swings and roundabouts, whatever. Southampton now, the first 20-25 minutes was probably our best football in a couple of weeks. We should have been 2-3 up, I'll be honest. And I'm not going to dwell on the referee decision, but the referee decision in hindsight, when it ends 1-1 and you have a clear penalty after 20 minutes, you kind of look back at that and say, well, for fuck's sake, like you man are meant to be fixed. But refereeing decisions, it goes all across the big 6. So it is what it is. What was
the reason why you went 2 or 3-0 up, if you don't mind me?
Jesus missed a big chance either sides, I think, of half time. The one with Odegaard the first half where he flicked it through, and then the one that he pretty much created himself in the second half where he won the ball past it, continued his run, and he just stuffed it.
Jesus needs to do better, man. He needs to be more clinical, Jesus, in my opinion.
He isn't clinical, that's the problem. But he create, like Turkey said, he also creates his own chances. I think that's what you get with Jesus, right? Yeah, you get a striker who misses quite a lot of chances, but is such a pest to the opposition that it sort of offsets the 2 or 3 chances in the game that he'll miss. It's weird. He can score goals, but he's not ruthless in front of goal. And I think in a game like Southampton, where the game is literally just crying out for you to be that be that difference maker in front of goal, not in the terms of the in-game play in front of goal. I think that's still an area of his game that
he's not clutch.
He still needs to get to grips with. And I think it was the same at Man City as well. Like people asking, why did Man City get rid of Jesus? It wasn't because he wasn't good enough per se, but 1, he wanted to leave, and 2, they had bought a striker in Haaland who doesn't need as many chances as Jesus to score.
Yeah. That's it. Look, I think all summer I was asked about Jesus by Arsenal fans. Can he get this many goals? And I always said you can only go on because he actually only really you can only go on his first 6 months at City, where he first arrived. He was played through the middle consistently, week in, week out. He scored 9 and 11. After that, he got injured and then was in and out of the team constantly and pushed out wide. The one thing I did say is I honestly believe, and this is all that matters, the output from your club, the number of goals your team scores with Jesus in the team will go up. Now, it shouldn't really matter who gets a goal as long as your team gets a goal, but he's not your spot on. We got rid of him because we're trying to win. You know, we need a player that will score in clutch moments, and that's not Jesus. That's not what he's there for. But I don't think Arsenal need to get worried about him. He's still going to do the same job he did for the first 10 games. He'll do for the rest of the season because that's what he's done at us as well.
Yeah,
But
he's been really good.
I think there was a valid point that Tobes asked about why you weren't, because, and I'm not saying you said it, Turkish, but if anyone thinks that Arsenal are going to challenge this season, these are the type of games that you're going to need to win. You're going to need to win them, especially when it gets to March, April, May. So for me, seeing this drop off, it might be good that you're getting it now because Arteta will tell the team we can't be doing this. If we want to get top 4, we can't be dropping points away at Southampton, especially with the Southampton at the moment. They're missing a few key players as well. So
but this is we have to remember what Jesus was brought in to do. Jesus was brought in to put Arsenal in the top 4. Now Arsenal in the title race. That's a whole different mandate completely. There's no way in hell that you can say that him versus Haaland is an even playing field. We all know who's going to pepper more goals in. Not only has Haaland got better chance creation, but he's 10 times the better finisher. So when we put this expectation on Jesus that now he suddenly got to be a title winning striker, I think that's unfair because we didn't say that at the start of the season. But yes, you do need to score in these games if you're going to go in a title race. But then they're not meant to be in a title race. So that's another very important thing. And another, just one more thing on Jesus. The reason why I wanted Jesus over Satan and Aubameyang, which is Chelsea fans are going to hate me right now, but it is what it is because yes, he does create his own chances. So if he's not scoring and you go and get an Ivan Toney in January, or Jesus can still play out wide. He can still contribute. He can still go in a 2-striker system. Like Jesus can't die. Do you know what I'm saying? He presses, he creates, he dribbles. He's going to be important, regardless of whether he's in form or not in form in front of goal. He is not going to become a useless individual who can't trap a ball, who can't help you, who can't do things. So
that wasn't the point being made, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I'm worried about Jesus." There's nothing to be worried about.
Yeah,
you just need to go and get another striker because Nketiah is obviously not good enough. It's
not about worrying about Jesus. Jesus is a Lengman. Like he's been on fire for Arsenal, but it's just stating an obvious fact. It's not even a title challenge thing. He's the leading striker at a club that are aspiring to finish in the top 4, top 3. Irrespective of whether you're going for the title or not, there's a certain amount of goals that he needs to hit as a striker this season, and his scoring rate has been good. However, in these type of games, he needs to be better at finishing these chances. That's it.
Yeah, simple.
It's that simple.
Yeah,
you can't miss as many chances as he missed against Southampton as the leading guy the leading guy at Arsenal. You can't,
and then not get criticism.
That's what you look at the club, and then what Matisse said is true. Because really, we needed 2 strikers in the summer, and what we should have been is 2 different types of strikers, and then maybe Eddie's your 3rd choice, and that different type of striker, maybe a Tony or someone else in that mold. He can come on, change it up, but Jesus is still there to do his thing. You maybe take the attention away from him as well, just because we've left Jesus in it, and everyone agrees this is the Jesus we know in terms of being clinical. He's never been the most clinical. He's got 5 goals in 11 games. If you look at it overall, at this rate, he's going to get 16, 17 by the end of the season if he stays fit and so on. Obviously, there's a lot behind that. I think a lot of us would have predicted him to get between 15 and 18 goals. It's what he does.
Yeah, that was
his target. I always got told.
Has he got 5 league goals in 11 league games?
5. Yeah, 5 league goals.
That's calm, man. That's
3
calm.
assists.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that in that game against Southampton,
stick
one of those chances.
But it's one of those things, isn't it? He's they're gonna get tired. Even He's the main guy who's going to play every game. He's expected to play every game, and it's kind of showing.
That's where we as Arsenal fans can't now. If things get, listen, I said it in the summer. I said there's going to be games in like October, November where we're 1-0 down in the 70th minute, 1-1. Like Jesus is not working out for him on the pitch. We're going to bring Eddie Nketiah on. Now that was my problem, because that for me is not good enough. Now obviously, if Eddie comes on, doesn't perform, he's going to get the stick he gets like he did against that. But then Jesus is still going to get the majority because he's the star man. He's the one we bought in the summer. But the reality is this club should have maybe brought in another striker, or at least another goal-scoring winger where, we could...
I agree. I think you needed one more goal threat. But again, playing devil's advocate here, similar to the point I used to criticize Conte about not letting players get into rhythm. Nketiah, when he was starting games for you guys last season towards the end of the campaign, he was scoring goals. And this season, I don't think he started a single Premier League match. And when you're playing Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, whichever, surely you can afford to drop. Let me not even use the word drop. Surely you can afford to rotate Jesus in one of these matches and try Nketiah. And if it's not working, then you bring Jesus on.
Has Nketiah been playing the Thursdays?
Yeah.
Because Nketiah is not like, I don't think this guy's a bad player. I really don't. And I do think, even though he's not this bagsman that's going to get you like 20 goals off the bench, I think if you give him a run of games, he can score goals. He just needs to start in his favourite position.
Yeah, but he's never going to start a run of game for Arsenal.
Even if he doesn't start a run of games, why couldn't he start as the leading striker against Southampton? Why?
Or even isn't your next game's Forest at home, right?
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
you could get away with that with playing him in there. Yeah.
That game right there, because that would suit him at home where the Emirates is right now. Start him because Jesus is good off the bench. We used to bring him off the bench in like the 60th minute and he bagged. So that's the perfect game to start.
At the same time, don't you think it's a perfect game to start Jesus?
I know, yeah. Let's go a hat trick, yeah.
Hopefully,
yeah. All of a sudden, he could flood the goal.
We're disrespecting Forest again, man. I don't know.
That's why I said hopefully.
No, it's a perfect game.
Perfect
game, though.
You can play game to start Trent on as well for me, but
yeah,
you can play Jesus out wide and you can play Nketiah up front if Nketiah is playing well. So they can both play in the same team. But I agree. I think you're gonna find it very hard pressed to see Nketiah get minutes up front this season with Jesus there. It's gonna take an injury. It's gonna take he's gonna have to be knackered before Nketiah gets game time.
Yeah, we've got one super chat on there as well. Jason says, I was a bit surprised at how much we were giving the ball away at the end of the game. At the top of the table, it's about consistency. Yeah, it is. It is. That's why I'm just remaining grounded with it. January, February, be in the top 4 comfortably, and that is the target. And then we should finish top 4 by the end of the season. That is the target. With the trophies, try and get one over the line, if not a couple. But obviously, that's wishful thinking. But this season's all about bringing Champions League football back. Not only for us fans to be there and be in the league competition, but for this board and ownership to invest more and continue building on the good work that Arteta and Edu have done so far. But yeah, on Arsenal, that's all the super chats. Daps, you want to touch in on anything? Manchester City 3, Brighton 1? Not really.
Just when we were I mean, all there is to say really is it was funny when you were saying 5 in 11's not bad. Then you talk 17 in 11, and it's really not bad. Yeah, you know what? I will actually say everyone at the ground was admitting it's the worst we've looked at home all season. But then it could be that Brighton looked good. Pep definitely respected Brighton. One of the first teams to come to the Etihad for a long time and have more possession than us.
Yeah.
You know what? If they had a gunman, they'd be really, really worrying because they're good, man. They come, they play good football. From a City point of view, yeah, Haaland bagged 2, De Bruyne with another beauty. Laporte looked good, came in, and I've been screaming we need Laporte back badly because we're not looking defensively. We're looking a bit. Laporte came in, and yeah, I'll be honest, Laporte for me is a level above Diaz. He really is on the ball. He's just so much more comfortable.
Who played right back? Was that Kanji still?
Kanji again, bro, and it's not working. But it is what it is. Walker's injured. I've seen one or two people. Stones is back in training. People are saying we might start playing Stones out wide again, like we have a few times. But I have a feeling that Stones is going to be talking with Pep and saying, you know, don't rush me back, because with Reece James injured, with Kyle Walker injured, Stones is going to be looking at the World Cup probably thinking, you know, play me if you need to. But the right side is a little bit worrying. Akanji's a centre back; he's not a right back. But the main one was Grealish. For me, Grealish was the man of the match again. He was for the first time. It was actually him that was started. That seemed to be the ray of light everyone was looking at, not De Bruyne. He was picking up the ball from deep. Driving at Brighton through the middle, and yeah, it's just look, it was good. Brighton have obviously gone to Liverpool, got a result. They've gone to United and got a result. I get it because they look good against us, but ultimately, when you got Haaland and De Bruyne on the pitch, it's just that wins you the game, innit? So
sorry, Haaland's first goal was a foul, was a complete foul, and I don't really understand why that goal was given. I mean, thank you because it got me my correct prediction, but
who did he foul?
He fouled Dunk or Webster. Sorry, he's literally just ran and pushed him, and
is that not? Was it not shoulder to shoulder? No.
Yeah, it was shoulder to shoulder. There was definitely not a two-handed push like that.
I think he's just running at speed, and he's just
no. That's a foul, bro. What the hell? That's a foul.
That was a ball from Edison, though.
Yeah,
you have to praise the ball, man.
I disagree, man.
Before that, he's brought down in the box, and we didn't get a penalty. So, I mean, swings and roundabouts.
I think
you're right.
I think he just shoulder to shoulder at that pace. He's obviously going to knock him over, but I don't feel like he.
I didn't say it to say that Haaland gets to rubber the green. I'm saying it to say that what the hell are these officials playing at? And even in the Arsenal game as well, I remember there was another one. Jesus gets basically pushed, elbow, in the box.
That was Eddie and Ketia. There was like 7 moments in there.
Yeah. Like, what are these officials playing at?
Do you think that was a blatant foul? I think he's just too strong.
There was one point in our game where the ref, a City player got fouled, and the ref allowed the game to go on, and Brighton to have played the advantage for Brighton. Then when they didn't get the advantage, pull it back for City, and it was like, that doesn't even make sense. The referee has just gone. I noticed the ref was just looking for VAR at every single point. It's like he was not wanting to get involved in the game. He was waiting for VAR to say something in his ear. But referees are just. I
like the way you got the never a foul just in the background. I'm thinking spot on. It's never a foul. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's never a foul.
Are
you only saying that because of the Lloris situation, Toby?
No, because I don't think the Lloris situation was a foul. It wasn't a foul.
But why?
I'm saying that Haaland's one was a foul.
Do you not think that just Haaland's just really strong? He's in his stride and
no, Haaland is strong and is in his stride, but like that's not shoulder to shoulder. He just clattered it.
But he didn't push in. He didn't really push him.
Okay. I need to see it again.
So his arms. He didn't do that. So I don't know, man. I think that. As Roy Keane would say, I think the game's gone soft, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think the game has gone. I don't think the game's gone tough. I just think a foul should be called a foul. And the people in the comments talking rubbish about Lloris, I didn't think the Callum Wilson thing was a foul. Again, that's Lloris's stupidity. I've not once begged for the ref to overturn that. I'm talking about these officials missing glaring mistakes that are costing teams. That's what I'm talking about.
Listen,
I mean, that didn't cost Brighton, though, did it? It was.
I mean, it's cost them a goal.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But like I said before, my opinion on decisions, because we all know the referees are inconsistent. My opinion on decisions are swings and roundabouts. And like I said, we should have had a penalty about 10 minutes before, and we didn't get that. So if that was a foul, I don't know. But the first one was a foul on Haaland. He should have had a penalty 10 minutes before. So swings and roundabouts. Decisions goes both ways. Refs are inconsistent, and like when Pep was asked the other week about a rule, he just said, "I don't know it. I don't understand it no more." I don't think many of us do anymore.
I think for me, I think the defender knew what it was. Yeah, he knew what time it was. It was a sprint race, and he didn't want none of it. So he tried to block his path a little bit and have that contact, and then obviously go over expecting to get a foul. That's what I honestly think it is, because. Ain't no Webster want to get in a race with Haaland. You know that for a fact. So if you're a defender in that position, you don't want to get in a race. So you're going to try and do something clever. And that's the way I see it personally.
Same.
we're gonna wrap it. Well, not wrap it up. We got super chat. It's a shame Hugh isn't here because I'd like to listen to his excuses for Akanji. Man was praising that no pace merchant, awful ball control too. On that note, listen, people, I want you guys to do something. I always tell you to do it, but this time, yeah, I'm serious. 2 hours 20 minutes. It's half past midnight in the UK. What you guys need to do is go and subscribe to the Mandem. Go and subscribe to the official Big Six channel. DAPS, SAEED, GRIZZ, TOBS, MATISSE, THUGGEry. Make sure you guys are all subscribed and following and supporting all of the channels there, and the notification bell is on. Remember to subscribe here as well, people. And don't forget, Big Six Extra is coming to the official channel real soon, people, and I mean real soon. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the bell on. And yeah, we're gonna leave it at that, people. Still 6K in the building. We are back this Thursday, 10:30 p.m. So make sure you guys are there for that one.
No prediction table?
Oh yeah, I do have it. So yeah. Where are we? Here's how it looked. Here's how it looked prior to the weekend, and here's how it looks now.
How am I still top?
Come on. How the hell am I still fifth?
How am I still top? I am right, bro. I'm riding my luck up here, fam.
Yeah, because you're doing well.
This is a joke. This is a joke.
Them early stat pad. I did a
I'm just saying it's getting closer. I'm just saying it's getting closer.
GRIZZ is climbed up.
Matisse, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Bro, I stat padded my way to this position. I can't.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm out of form. I'm
it's getting tight, boy. It's getting tight.
I'm doing a little Jesus right now, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus,
points behind.
Holding up to that.
From the guy that's got Aubameyang on his team, yeah. Use your own players.
That wasn't a cost. I'm still top on, eh? Do you know what I'm saying? It's not a cost.
I thought you were saying something about you.
I rate Jesus. I'm just saying he's out of form at the moment. I'm out of form at the moment. We're still top. Do you know what I'm saying? Still top. And the quality, I said the quality.
PTSD over the years. I'm defensive.
But I understood the joke. It's calm, man.
Sorry, man. Just relax.
Jason says, enjoyed the show, guys. Big up the Big Six. Love for the love, people. Make sure you do what I said earlier. Subscribe to the man. Then big up that for stepping in. And
I appreciate it as always.
Daps is stepping in for Big Six Extra as well, so you're going to be seeing a lot more of him, people. So make sure you show him some love. And we, like I said, Thursday we're back. Hit the like button on the way out. Love for the love. Peace. We're out.